I'm loving the fact that it's no script to how you share your
Your
story.
story, exactly. And can't nobody tell you how you feel
Yeah.
either. So they wanted to know, do you see a connection between incarceration and domestic violence? How and why?
Oh, definitely. You know, um, it's a high rate of incarcerated women and men
Mm.
due to domestic violence. So I definitely see it.
That it definitely goes hand in hand. Um, for both parties. Like it don't matter what it is. Even girl on girl or girl, boy on boy, man and woman. Domestic violence is it's not just with an intimate partner. If it could be domestic within your family, within your household. So it definitely go hand in hand. And you know, um, 9 times out of 10, somebody is gonna, get extremely hurt
Mhm.
and end up incarcerated.
Mhm.
So definitely it goes hand in hand. Are there any resources that you view as especially important to know about regarding support for those who are impacted by domestic violence? You want to answer that?
Read it one more time for me.
Are there any resources that you view as especially important to know about regarding support for those who are impacted by domestic violence?
Oh yeah, I brought it with me. That was the whole point. Like Pros of Peace. When I say Pros of Peace was a safe haven, Pros of Peace is a safe haven for young women and men.
Mm,
And I feel like that's a big factor because most services and resources might be biased. Like
right,
it'll only be for the woman, the badder woman.
right, right, right.
But it's men that encounter domestic violence as well.
Right.
So Pros of Peace created that safe haven for me to be able to be at peace today after surviving, healing from the black eyes. You know what I'm saying? Healing from getting out of jail because I done did some nut stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to go to my girl spa, cry it out, yoni it out. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you having sex with somebody that's mentally, physically, or emotionally, spiritually abusing you,
Mm-hmm.
you have to
Gotta get,
cleanse internally.
yes, and get
So
them out your
those
system.
were important things I didn't know about.
Right.
The Reiki healing that I was able to receive
Mm-hmm.
in the midst of my marriage. Miss LaShawn told me to leave because she saw the abuse coming and continuing and not stopping.
Right.
And to save myself, I needed to go. So
Mm-hmm.
just being able to know like these people are gonna help and you have to listen.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like as a domestic violence survivor, knowing that these resources are out there, take advantage. So I took full advantage of Pearls of Peace to know. Nobody know about this? Okay, I can see what's going on. I'm gonna tap in and live it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm doing.
Period.
Period.
How can viewers of social media, oh, how can viewers take action against domestic violence to support those who are impacted by it?
I think we should say
Okay.
doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I feel like we can't keep on being silent about it. We gotta voice it. We gotta tell people. We can't keep quiet. We've been quiet for so long. Some of us been in these, relationships for a very long time, just taking the abuse, taking the mental abuse, taking the physical abuse, taking the, spiritual abuse, taking the financial abuse, taking, sexual abuse from your partner, just because you feel like that's what you're supposed to do, but you're not. And we have to stop this, as men and women that's going through it. We have to finally just put it up and let it go. Put it in somebody else's hands, because You know, when we try to do it ourselves, the outcome is not good. You end up incarcerated. You end up dead. You end up with broken limbs and things like that. And that's not cool. And you end up with your mental really messed up. Last question. Is there anything else you would like to share? And then now we can get into
Yes. So I definitely want Miss LaShawn to share her experience with domestic violence, if you don't mind,
before you leave.
before you leave, because I think that it will be unfair for the village and the people to not hear what you have overcame and healed so many people. So I'm gonna hold this. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna take the glass off, or keep it on.
Now I'm just like, girl, keep your glasses on.
She's Stevie Wonder now.
Looking fly.
Thank you.
Share, what's your name?
Well, my name is Lisa. I'm Pearl for Peace Wellness. Well, I'm the CEO and founder, CEO and founder of Pearls of Peace. And we are here to heal not just domestic violence, but all sorts of traumatic situations that is occurring in our community. So, but the number one focus for October is domestic violence, and I am a parent of domestic violence. And being a parent of a domestic violence, it brings on different avenues of anxiety, depression. It can make you feel suicidal because you're like, I can't help my child. What can I do? She don't understand that I'm here to protect her and love her and show her the avenues of getting out of this abuse that you could be totally blind from, because the heart in loving someone that is in that situation that came out of a prior dramatic situation themselves will bring that, because hurt people hurt people. And when hurt people, they bring it on and they don't even see that. And sometimes the person who is hurting you don't recognize that they're hurting you. So I work with both sides. The person that is hurting the person, like whoever is being domestic and whoever is giving it. I want to work with both sides because most of the time, the majority of the time, the person who is doing the domestic violence, either they either came from that kind of source or they seen it and been in that environment. So you want to help heal them too as well. So with all of that being said, I have taken years, maybe 17 years now. I've been doing going to different communities, helping them in a way of dance therapy, Reiki healing, meditation, or massage therapy as well, because sometimes just flushing out your lymph nodes and things that is in the uh, process of being diseased to your body, it can trigger things. It can trigger those different hormones that say, if somebody mess with me one more time, or if this happened, or she don't do what I say I need her to do. The controlling issues might come on. So I try to grab and tap into all of those avenues, because if you dance and you express some things, you let go. If you do Reiki, you're healing your chakras, you're aligning your body
I was just about
and
to ask you. Could you
everything.
explain Reiki?
So Reiki healing is a holistic healing way of releasing dis-ease from your body. So what happens is I have energy. So when I touch you, it transfers. So if I'm healed and I'm thinking positive and I have negative, so it's sort of like atoms and how can I say, protons, and neutrons when they connect, how they bond. So like when I connect with you, because I have the same energy source as you, if you're asking me to help you, you give you that energy to release some disease to your body. You might have mental or mindful disease. You might have physical disease.
And if I'm coming with the energy that doesn't have it and I can replenish that, that's what I'm trying to break it down on that form so people can understand. Because if I put it more in a holistic therapeutic form, then they're like, oh, but what is that? And what is that? So that's basically what it does. It flushes out. I have to deal with people who had cancer. So if you really serious and you really believe it, and you say, "Hey, I don't want to go to chemo anymore. I want to see how I can do it holistic. So can you pour your energy into me in that way?" And that's basically what it is. And I give people like I say, 99% of the time you get on my table, you're gonna come up off my table different. It 99%. I won't give you the 100, but I tell you 99% you're gonna come up, and that's giving you something that a doctor would never give you that amount of time. I give you a whole hour of that time to release all those things. So you're gonna come off that table with something that's not disease to your body, but replenish something in your mind, body, and soul, and aligning your chakras. You have a heart chakra, you have a solar plex chakra, you have a mind chakra, you have which is your crown, you have your third eye. We don't just have two eyes, we have three eyes, and then we have our throat chakra, so we have to make sure we speak, with highly frequency and positive energy and believe that what is. And so I hope I didn't over or turn somebody off of what Reiki healing really is, but that is what part of healing in Reiki healing.
And if people want your services, how could you be contacted? Where can they reach you at?
So if you would like to have a service, we can contact at Pearls of Peace Wellness. And then we also can be reached at 202-352-4590. And I give my number because I'm personal. And if you want to call me, I don't have a problem talking to you, consulting with you on the phone. You might not, and at the end, if you don't want to come to me, at least I gave you that urge or courage to want to get in that lane in that journey of healing in a proper standard way. Thank you so much, my
Yes.
sister. She's such a beautiful soul. I walked in her place, and I'm big on energy. As you can see, I have my amethyst. You don't see what's on the back of me, but she's full of great energy, positive energy. And this is what we like to bring in our tribe is to have a circulation of good energy,
Yes.
positive thoughts, people who believe, not in, so first you have to believe in yourself. And I love that she believes in herself and she instilled that and embedded in her children. So I feel the energy because that's who I am. And I thank you.
Yes. Thank you for coming in and talking. Yes. We're going to do more work
Yes, yes, we are. This is just the beginning.
Only the beginning.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I believe that you were right on time. She came to my house.
Right.
And what are the odds? I was in the middle of getting an Uber. And you were so gracious to wanting to pick me up. Like she was like, "Yeah, I got some money. I'll get you." I said, "Well, you my mom, and the universe is working on what has to happen for what we got to.
Right.
The fact that you are a phenomenal queen who could be doing anything else with your time. So heck, been looking forward to next Monday because this was on my schedule like nothing else. And for you to pull up, like
Yeah.
we
That's so
have been trying to
good.
connect all weekend.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad we was all able to do it together.
Yeah.
That's so good.
This is God. This is God. So what do you want to get into? Like,
I mean, let's start from the beginning.
this is
Let's
my
start.
first time.
I know I got some tissues. I mean, we might start crying,
Yeah.
and it's okay.
Okay. Okay. We
We might start crying. We got tissues and everything. But you know, if you cry, I'm crying too. I'm a baby. I'm so sensitive. We go so hard, but so sensitive.
mm-hmm. I'm over here like, what? Okay, it's really happening. Like,
Yeah,
I'm really in her living room, about to tell the story. Like,
the
okay.
story from the beginning. So let's let's start from the beginning, from like when y'all met, when it was like Good. And we don't say names.
Okay, of course not.
Yeah, we don't say names, but we want to, talk.
Of course not.
And we want to be,
I'm gonna live.
we are going to be unfiltered. We're going to say what's on our mind. We're going to say what's on our heart. And that's what it is. I mean, and if you don't like it, you can cut us off or whatever it is that you need to do. But yeah, we are going to be uncut, unfiltered, and it is what it is. These are, the uncomfortable conversations that a lot of people don't like to have, but we're going to have them today. People like to, suffer in silence. And I think, we both suffered in silence for so long that we shouldn't have to suffer in silence anymore.
And that's why that's what my story is about. I'm trying to figure out how. Do you have Wi-Fi? Okay, let me get the Wi-Fi real quick because this is a connection that had to happen, and I'm grateful that me being on my journey, Allah has made sure that those that are supposed to be doing this work with me is right next to me. So I love you. Thank you so much for coming out. Peace, everybody. Please book Pearls of Peace. Get you a Reiki healing.
Yes,
Get you a yoga class. Please do.
I will.
I don't know what the discount code is. However, just DM and inquire and get you some services. Yes. Yes. I forgot the discount. Oh, my discount code is Millie Moms. Yeah. So if you want a discount, definitely just DM Millie Moms, Millie Moms, Millie Moms, so that y'all can get the discount. Okay. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Peace.
Love you. Love you. Yes. I was like,
Yes. So now that I got the Wi-Fi, now we can connect. I'm going to click the button. 3, 2, 1, and it's done. Checking connection. We are now live on my live. You're live.
we just live. We live. And I'm going to upload this to YouTube. So, yes, I will upload the full interview on YouTube.
Okay. So, here we are. Oh, that's good. All right. So I got married. I got married to
How old were you when you got married?
okay, so I got married right before COVID. So it's 2024. COVID was 2020. I got married 2019.
Okay.
So I will be 33 this year.
Okay.
So we take that back. I was like 28.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh.
yeah, numerology. So 28 was an age that 28 was the age of pure adulthood. Like you're not a teenager, you're not a pre-adult, you're all the way in. It's time to have responsibilities, get your life, do what you want to do. So I connected with my ex with an interview that I was leaving from, a mental health interview, Wars of Within. I was interviewing Wars of Within, and that was for mental health. Shout out BTF. Being a mental health advocate. I was at H Street Festival, and I reconnected with him. And I thought at that moment, like, this was my childhood crush. So I'm like, oh my God, where have you been at? I've been meditating, manifesting, and alchemy. You're supposed to be, yeah. Little did I know, I was about to be taken on a roller coaster. Toxic love. Never thinking that.
Something you never experienced.
Never experienced it. Never thought, never knew. Like, it was just very foreign to me. And he was a different type of love. So he dressed it up in the beginning as this well package of, I can save you and we're going to go ahead and start a new life. And this is going to be great. And as a woman, who is trying to do the right thing, I'm like, okay. I eat Islam. Before I got married, I was not Muslim. So he is Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I looked at Islam as a new walk of life.
Right.
And for this to be my partner that introduced it to me, I'm like, we're going to walk this together.
Yeah.
So after we got married, like we got married very random. He didn't want to commit sin by having sex out of wedlock and marriage. So that's a thing in Islam as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I married him and believed in him and was like, we're gonna build.
Right.
And it
So
just
how far into the marriage when you started experiencing, um, you
the
know,
red flags were there. I painted them green. The red flags were very because I'm too tapped in.
mm-hmm.
So it's like when you're conscious and you're a conscious person, that's what consciousness is, your self awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just blind. Like I had the love goggles on. Those.
Okay, so you said the red flags was there, you painted them green.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the red flags that you were colorblind by?
Um, peace. I love you. Oh, best friend, F that nigga. You hear me? Yeah, for sure. Um, red flag that I painted green. Aggressive tone in conversations.
Okay.
Like simple conversations. It just seemed like he was overbearing or controlling and would try to silence me a lot.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get what I gotta say. Oh, one thing about it, coming into Islam, it's like, oh, is this what the Muslims do?
I was about to ask you that. So I'm not. I don't know.
Oh no,
the religion.
I'm in this because
Mhm.
it got to be talked about. So now I know that Allah created me because I was talking to my friend earlier. He was like, "You about to do an interview? How do you prepare for something like that?" I was like, "Talking to you and just living life." Because one thing about it, two things for sure. Uh, I look at this bigger than Fox
Mhm.
to me.
Right.
That's how I look at this situation
Right.
because you don't have to have no studio. Your home and your homegrown location.
Mhm. Yeah.
So with the Muslim community, it's a big issue and it's a big and it's a big, 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 big problem. Because as a Muslim coming in to the deen and having to experience the level of abuse that I encountered and endured is like, what's going on? Why is it? Because my friend asked, he said, "Well, how do you hold them accountable to milestone?" I said, I was mentor under an elder couple.
Mhm.
However, they gave the signs to let me know to leave.
Mhm.
However, them seeing the black eyes and me hiding under my niqab,
Mhm.
I realized like I'm not gonna leave the religion. I'm gonna leave him.
Okay.
So going to the mosque and being able to pick up envelopes of money with all due respect because I didn't go after for no child support.
Right.
My belief systems is in God.
Right.
So Allah had it all set up with as long as I ain't leave him, nothing else would come against me.
Mhm. Right.
So when I left him,
Mhm.
it's like everything just became greater within my deen.
So in the beginning, the red flags were, if he was trying to control you.
Very
That
controlled.
was the mental abuse, and then work before you got
Or
to.
like even wearing this. Like I would have never been able to wear something like this and be with him and feel like I was comfortable, or he probably would either beat my ass before I left out
Mhm.
or when I came back because his ego and his self esteem was so skewed. I don't know if it was from what he believed or practiced,
Mhm.
but I know as a Muslim, like it's nothing wrong with what I have, and I can go out and I prayed today, and I'm gonna pray again at 12 to this, and again and again.
Right. Okay. So he was trying to control you, and then emotional, it it started being emotional abuse.
Yeah. The emotional abuse will come in with you gotta watch who you bring in as far as your other relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So when I noticed that my mom and I had a really close relationship, but my mom didn't want to be around, or he would try to keep me from
Mm-hmm.
my mom and try to get me to rely only on him, which with financial came in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom is always there. I don't ever need my mother for nothing because I'm the daughter that sends money to the mother.
And
Alhamdulillah.
shout out to my aunt.
Okay, shout out to my mom. Okay, but she be sending, when she can, but she already raised me. So it's like as an adult, like my mother saw, like, okay, if he not putting you in no bricks, it's not making sense. Like I went and got my own apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for us, but when I had my second daughter, Ramina, I was in a hotel. We was in a hotel because he did not want to live with his mother with our baby. I didn't want to live with my mother, and so we had to. And it was hell. Like it was like certain stuff. It was starting to make sense. And then
Mm-hmm.
his father's family, they were like, we couldn't come stay. Like it was a whole like mess. And I was like, oh, I'm not about to do this.
Okay, so he does have family. So I'm gonna just rewind it back. So was his dad like abusive to his mom, or vice versa?
That cycle. It was a cycle thing. Cause I had tried to figure out like, what is it like? Is you in a toxic household growing up? But as we was married, his childhood traumas and all of the things that he was working on was now coming up in the marriage. That's why
Mhm.
you don't marry too fast, because you
Right.
need to know somebody demons or whatever things they battling.
Yeah, but some people really do know how to like you said,
Yeah.
flags, red flags are definitely always there in the beginning. But some people really know how to mask like a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And then though some people been masking things for years.
Mhm.
It don't come out within the first 6 months or the first year
Yeah, you
or
right.
so, because people like to mask, like they like to portray themselves as a different person
Mhm.
until you really like start like living with like, because you can get to know somebody
Yeah.
from the outside, but it's not until you really get into the household with a person
Mhm.
and you guys start like living together, and then that's when you see a lot of stuff
Mhm.
that's going on.
Yeah. His mother was highly emotionally and verbally abusive,
To
mentally
him.
to him, very
Hmm.
manipulative towards him. Um, his father was physically abusive to his mother, but then divorced her. So I think a lot of the traumas that he endured as a child, he took out on me in the merge because one, his mother, how he'd be like American Black B. That was his thing, like to demean me. American Black B. His mother is same as that, not a B, right? But
Hmm.
she can be actually, and
Hmm.
that's realistic too, right? So the treatment that I saw, his relationship with the mother, that was a red flag. That was the very first one.
And I was about to say
That
that.
was the first one that I painted
So,
on.
a guy treats his mom
Facts,
is is how he treats his girl,
facts,
his
facts,
woman.
facts,
So
facts, facts,
if he's disrespectful to his mom,
facts,
if he's not disrespectful to you in the beginning, eventually it will start coming out.
facts.
Yeah, because he got mommy issues
Yeah,
at this point.
yeah,
He has mom issues.
yeah.
So, and then the dad wasn't abusive to him. He was just abusive to the mom.
He was abusive to the mom, but his stepfather was abusive to him.
Mm,
And that's what made him hate his mother even more because he felt like his mother couldn't protect him.
mm,
And that was like really took me for a toll because I'm like, I'm not your mom. Like as certain fights and certain things and certain I was like, I'm not wearing that lady stuff. Like I'm who I am, and I'm living in my path right now. And what I got going on is what I have going on. You can't keep putting me through this because what you went through with your mother. So I tried to help him and his mother relationship. And in the midst of that, I was building a relationship with her, and she was like letting me know low key, like my son need help. Like she was an enabler though too. So she was telling me like what she would do because she went through it,
Right.
but then also enabling him like if ever he needs somewhere to stay when we would get into it, as a mom. But it's like we fighting and you ain't asking him out, okay? Like at some point make it make sense. So that's when I had to know like it's me. Like I gotta make better decisions for myself and be safe and let go. And it was hard. Like
So when you get into relationships, it's no longer me or you, it's a us, right?
mhm,
So basically, to me, it sounds like you start to lose yourself in this relationship. You start to lose yourself. It was you more of you becoming him, not even a us. It was him.
mhm.
That was the focus.
And I think also what I didn't know because I was coming in as a new Muslim. I'm coming in as trying to figure out the right way to live righteous. So I'm under a man who isn't even the top Muslim to where I see myself. So it was a struggle because he was not practicing the way he should have been or needed to be and able for us to be our best. It was very, very bare minimum. And it made it look good for me to want to be like, you know what? And as I dig deeper and because it was like a show. Like we was like a show family. Like we would go to the malls, dress up with the low key. I'm hiding black eyes. I'm hiding walls in my apartment build, bedroom walls, hiding because he didn't punch the wall or then been destructive. You know what I'm saying?
So when did you finally like when did you finally tell somebody that this was going on? Was your mom the first person that you told, or did you talk to like a friend, or like who did you tell?
That's a good question because I know that my mom, like how Miss LaShawn said, my mom, I stopped telling my mom. I told her, but then it was like, she was just wanting to see me happy. So she didn't, once I seen my mother stop coming around, that's what I'm saying. I knew, all right, I'm messing up relationships that are good for me to keep this bad relationship or this toxic relationship. What is going on? Like, what's wrong? So I feel like I first told my mom that I stopped telling her because I saw the stress that it was causing her, or it was like it wasn't right. It wasn't right, and my mother, she would tell me like, "You putting me through a lot," but I had committed suicide. I attempted to commit suicide in May of last year, and that was because my daughter in the hospital. We got a baby together that's in the hospital.
How many kids y'all got?
We have two children, two daughters together. And our last daughter, Ramaya, who was born on my father's birthday, March 30th, 2022, she was like made out of the abuse. Like, I know now that I should have let him go, but we had her. I was pregnant with her. And I felt like we gotta stay together. Like
Yeah,
we
because this is kid.
we got this baby in the hospital. Like I'm so healed from this situation. I'm numb.
Mm-hmm.
So like no more. I didn't cry everything out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, cause I got a daughter right now who I'm battling right now
Right.
in the hospital right now for a medical malpractice. Who told me to pull the plug on my daughter right now, and she survived because I chose her over the toxic man that I was married.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's a blessing, especially if they tell you to pull the plug. Like, who? What mother wants to pull the plug on their baby?
But that's when I knew he wasn't the one because he was in agreement to what they were trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was maybe like the final, like, oh, but because I ain't want to have sex with anybody else or be with anybody else or
Right.
go for the temporary comfort that a lot of women go to,
Mm-hmm.
I just became pure
Mm-hmm.
and purified myself from his energy
Right.
and knowing that I ain't gonna lie, I got it all out. Thanks, son. But I got it all out and
Oh my
temperature.
God.
But I got it all out and I let it be known that um I I deserve better. So me and him kept sleeping with each other. That was me letting go and knowing that I gotta purify myself for whoever I'm going to be with and for myself.
So, alright. So, y'all two babies in. When did the physical abuse actually start?
The physical abuse started, um, I would say, a little within the beginning of the first year, honestly.
So before you had babies, the physical abuse started.
No, Ramina, we had her like soon as we got married.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So we was already, she was a baby that survived domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah, 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 yeah. And she was born on Bob Marley's birthday, February 6th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's okay. We got our technical error fixed, right?
Yeah, I went and did it on my other phone because that phone. Oh, I say, no, I guess it's back to normal now, normal
Right.
temperature.
It's okay. So YouTube, we are still live.
Yes, this will be uploaded to YouTube. Everything uncut, unfiltered. We will be on there. So the physical abuse started before the baby got here. Baby number one got here. And was it like, okay, so was it like just a hit, a push, punch? Like,
It
what?
started off with he had peace everybody, peace if you tuning in. It was a pop in the mouth. I remember
Like you was a child.
mhm, like, but it wasn't a child thing, but I could tell at that moment, oh, he wants to be in control.
Hmm.
Cause it was like, what the you say? And we driving, and he's the driver, I'm the passenger,
Hmm.
and he hit me like and was full fledged hitting me like he used to be like my mouth. I don't respect. I don't have no respect. My mouth. Yeah. And he would put his hands on me because he claimed that my mouth would make him hit me.
Nobody can't make you do anything. You just that's something your reaction, not somebody make. Oh, you made me do it. No, you didn't make me do it. I did it because that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, it was it was then in that moment I remember bleeding, like my lip was busted.
So did you ever like you have you had to go to the hospital for any of your
See, I'm a
injuries?
fighter. I'm not about to let a dude just hit on me. I'm gonna fight back. But I realized that that's creating a domestic violence relationship. Like now at this point, we both just taking blows at one another. So I got to the point where it was toxic. That's how I knew because he hit me, I hit him back. We'll get into this big like rage of fights, separate for a little bit, then get back together. You know what I'm saying? Like no
Mhm.
type of ethics. This is very nasty and toxic.
So
Like, what am I doing with my life?
and then you guys are married, so you guys didn't think to go to like you guys didn't go to counseling.
All went to therapy.
Were you, were you guys telling the truth while you were in
He
therapy?
wasn't. So that's why
Because you know, if you don't go in there and tell the truth about what's really going on, you can't fix it because it's either you being quiet or you're lying.
yeah. I think it's called Genuine Sisters.
Hmm.
I can't remember the lady with the group, but that's who told me to leave them. Like when I would get early therapist was like, you need to leave. Like literally, like, and that's not something they supposed to do.
And I was about to say that. So you know, I've taken a lot of domestic violence classes and things like that. Your phone just died. I've taken a lot of yeah, a lot of domestic violence classes. I'm actually in one right now with DC Collision.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first thing they tell you not to do. Don't tell a domestic violence victim
Mm-hmm.
to just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's all they
you
would
can't
tell you.
just leave. It's not as easy as people think. Like, oh, just leave. You can get out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but it's not as easy as they make it seem to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they tell people not to leave. You know, that they not supposed to tell you to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's something that it's a process. Because it was a process in to get in the situation, and it's definitely a process to get out of the situation or whatever. I mean, it's a good thing that both of you guys are alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it can get real crazy.
It did. It did get real crazy. It did get real
Explain.
crazy. It got really crazy. I did end up in the hospital because you did ask me that.
Hmm.
I ended up in jail. I ended up uh, running him over. I wrecked my last car because I ran him over with it, and I still can't even like mentally get to the point of like fixing that car or
Hmm.
selling it because I know I want it. Because there
Yeah.
was so many traumatic memories from being in the car rides with him to that getting to that. And I got to that point because while I was having our daughter in the hospital, he was sleeping with the girl down the hall from me on my floor. So I snapped, like it was like a snap moment. And I knew like I wasn't trying to kill that man. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get away
Hmm.
because he pulled a gun out on me.
Hmm.
So it's like for me at that moment, he found me.
Hmm.
He found my location because I had took his phone. Because I could not believe what the fuck I saw in his phone where he was sleeping with another lady that lived in my building where we lived, where we was raising our kids, where our daughter that was going to come from the hospital. Could not fathom that.
Hmm.
On the same blood clot floor, the same floor, down the hall, would leave her, come, and I just laughed out.
It's not.
And when he found me, I felt it in my spirit because I told my mother, I was like, something about to happen. And I was like, I don't want to sit right here no more. Like, I want to leave right here. Because I was on the phone with her the whole time. She was telling me call the police. The police was like, meet them right there. Police, I called the police numerous of times. This was the case I ended up beating because I called the police so much.
That was going to be my next question. Was it ever documented that this was going on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Full doc because I felt like I went to the mosque and I'm going to just try to get back on live because I know my story helping somebody in my platform.
Right.
But
I know I gotta get back on live on this song.
yeah,
This song is crazy.
that's okay. All the phones is crazy. Everything is trying to
These
stop
iPhones,
us.
this one just says it's too hot and stuff. Like, and
They
it's
don't
fresh.
want us to
Come on.
get this hot shit out there. The real, the human.
That's true. Cause you already know it's always somebody trying to block what people always try to keep us silent.
I want to tag your page. Domestic. I'm gonna put my domestic violence story.
Look at this. People just calling my phone.
So
I'm gonna do it on both, just because. Even if, and I know that this iPhone just gonna go boom. No,
you got a little feedback. I think you might have muted.
I did.
No, mute this one.
With that one.
Can you hear it now? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, peace, peace, y'all. Peace, peace. Come back through, come back through. I'm telling my domestic violence story.
Oh, I wonder could they, even though it's muted, could they all still hear us on this?
Oh, right.
I know. I gotta turn down.
The sound. There's some feedback coming from something.
I'm gonna stop on that good to it. It's okay. Cause like I said, it'll be
In the technical errors in the mix. Hey y'all, hey, 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 peace, village, peace.
I know, right?
We live, we live. I'm at the Neighborhood Sisters podcast right now with Miss Portia Williams. Can you please tell the people everything that you do so that I can just, update since my stuff's been out?
Oh yeah. So I am a survivor of domestic violence, and I, created a little, a small platform so that I could talk to other women that have been through it, and or that know people that have been through it, that they could share their story and their insight. I am a girl, so I like the fact that women. I love women that stick together and speak up for other women, because it's really hard. Women, for whatever reason, we like to hate on people and things like that, but I'm not one of those ones. So I wanted to, bring awareness to everybody about domestic violence. Um, Everybody thinks that it's more it's physical. Honestly, I'd rather just took the physical versus the mental abuse, the emotional abuse, the financial abuse. I rather had had taken I could have took the physical abuse anytime. And that's sad to say, because why am I taking anything? You know what I'm saying? But if if that had if I could replay it all over again and it would just be physical, I'd rather do the physical than the mental, because the mental and the verbal, it really messes you up. It just like LaShawn said earlier, the energy is bad and it transfers and things like that. And then,
And it's scary.
it's very scary. And then when, people drink and things like that, it only, makes it worse than what it actually.
And that's one thing we didn't have. That's how I know it was a spiritual thing because I don't drink, he didn't drink, and so it let me know that we are battling a demon.
Mhm.
This is a so getting back to the situation with me ending up in jail and that being like the final straw.
Mhm.
Because I feel like I had a lot of final straws, but I didn't really stand on business for myself.
Okay.
I think with me having to stand on business for my daughter Reliant in the hospital,
Mm.
that's what really made me like push me to be like, excuse my language, but fuck this nigga.
Right.
Like straight up, like this is it. Like Azara, wake up. Like, what is it gonna take? You know? Um, even after the suicide, like the fact that I attempted suicide and was in the hospital and my family was looking for me for 2 days because I was in there as a Jane Doe. He didn't even wait for me. He just dropped me off. The
Oh,
hospital
and you
was
didn't
like,
have no ID or anything on you.
yeah, nothing. The hospital was like, they, I woke up and they were like, we literally, didn't know who you were. And they thought a strange man picked me up. And they was trying to convince me, like, because I had to go to the psych ward.
Mhm.
And that right there, and they thought they could take me out, baby, neighborhood sister. Yeah. That right there, let me know, like, cast it out. Cast it out, God. Because that's an evil, evil man right there. Left me
Dead.
for dead. Luckily, I texted my mother and was like, can you come get the kids? Cause we not about to see each other again. And my mother came.
And shout out to her
Shout out
for
to
coming
my mommy.
to your rescue.
She came to my rescue. Let her tell it, and I would love to interview with her. Just to have that mother perspective. Um, she said that they had to wagon me out my apartment, and I swallowed a whole bottle of sleeping pills.
Mm. So before you swallowed the sleeping pills, what was going on before you did that? Like what was
Oh, that
what
was a spiritual. I was spiritually attacked. It was a spiritual attack.
and so what was your train of thought? Like what was you just thinking? Like just leave?
So there was another woman that he slept with. He slept
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of women, and that right there, like that lack of spiritual hygiene
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that care, like I'm in the house. I'm in the house. I'm the housewife. Like, why am I in the house and you going out here sleeping with all these women, and then when I'm finding out, you want to beat my ass?
Yeah, like make that make sense.
Make this make sense. So I got to a certain point where I'm like, no, this is not my life. I'm standing up for myself. And that's what I started doing. That's what I started doing, and I'm here today to keep sharing my story because it's actually my first time sharing my story on any platform. And I thank you for this opportunity because
Oh, and I'm so glad that you did it with me.
yeah, like this is a true elevation because like I said when I was incarcerated when you was going through what you went through,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that we was going to work together. I just didn't know that we was gonna be on the big screen. Thinking, okay, like I just knew that I wanted to help because,
Right.
like I said, I knew at 17, you were my babysitter. Like, you're my mom's friend's daughter. But growing up, like my mom, they wanted to hang out. You were like, I knew you had a kind heart,
Bring her on
and
over
so
or I come over there.
yes, like you never gave off killer. Like, no.
It's so crazy that as you sitting here, like, shit, I'm surprised I ain't break down and cry because as you sit here and share yours, and it's so similar. It's so crazy. The first time I ever got hit in the car
Mm,
driving,
mm.
I guess I don't know. I don't know what to say out my mouth either.
Mhm.
But I always been a vocal person. So I
Mhm.
mean, if you can't handle that, then that's an issue within yourself. Then
Mhm.
it's not a me thing; it's a you thing.
Mhm.
I can remember, me staying at his house, and he was sleeping with the girl in the building. I never told you that. Yeah, no, he was sleeping with the girl in the building. I used to go like look in the phone, and she like, "Oh, I guess I won't see you today because you got company and all this other stuff." Come to find out, girl, we got our apartment. The girl, that same girl, slept with him in my apartment while I'm at work, pregnant, doing overtime.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And just me just being so,
Mm.
green, so naive. I'm going to work, I'm paying bills and stuff like that. And you really just in my house sleeping with someone.
They're wicked.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of wicked people in this world who lose their true purity. And that's why becoming a Muslim, for me, it
Mm-hmm.
was the piece that I knew I gotta stick to this because my faith is what got me through every battle. Knowing that I can't harm you like you harm me
Mm-hmm.
because I fear Allah. I fear God. So in the sense of out of fear, I knew that I'm putting myself in too many positions where I don't want to have to hurt Slim.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like it was two and two together for me because after being in a situation where I'm choked out, breathing for air, got had to go to the hospital for that.
Right.
It's like how many times am I gonna? Cause so you start if you stay, you become like vengeful
Mm-hmm.
and wanting revenge. That's not my heart.
Right.
That's what I realized. This is not me. This man is trying to turn me into something that I'm not.
Right.
So if I stay, I'm putting myself in an undangerous situation because I remember I used to tell my mother, like, I'm a killer. Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I could talk about it
Right.
because I'm nowhere near that person, nowhere near think about that at this point. I want nothing but peace to him. I pray for him every day that he get the help that he needs.
Mm-hmm. And that's so crazy because, and I did what I did, but I never even thought about that. Like, it never was a thought. Like, chill him. Like, that never was a thought, or whatever the case is. So,
Now, I knew that your situation, from my understanding, what was told to me from my mom, was it was a what they call it, a crime of passion,
right. Yeah.
and that's when cause I used to be like in jail, like, and my situation with that was not snitching on ex boyfriend, cause he did some bonehead stuff
Right.
and put me on.
Right.
And because I wanted to live to the street code or whatever that was at the time,
Right.
because there ain't no codes, because you could hit your baby mother or hit the mother that's burning your children and it not be nothing, no consequence.
Right. Exactly. And that's so crazy. I said, the law is crazy. It really is because I was like, dang. And then unlike you, I never did I never did a report or whatever the case is. I would be like, oh no, like you said, oh,
Mm-hmm,
I'm not telling,
mm-hmm,
I'm not doing this, but I would just tell I would tell my best friend, and then I would tell my mom
mm-hmm.
or whatever, and then like you, stop telling my mother. I stopped telling her because I know she looking at me like, girl, if you don't get the hell out of this situation, what you keep going back for? Why do you keep going back? Because it wasn't like he was holding me hostage or anything like that.
And that's what they tell us, what he was though. Mentally,
Yeah, but yeah, that's true.
mentally, you was at hostage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why God put me right here for us to share our story on this platform for everybody. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Oh,
Put it on the post.
I'm uploading it
Yeah.
everywhere.
Because when I tell you, you was locked up mentally and so was I, we cannot be silenced.
Mm-hmm.
You were. And I was too. And that's what the nigga try to do. They be like, oh, what? All you gonna do is come back. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Or you might have not heard that, but something similar to that capacity.
Mm-hmm. You'll be back.
You'll be back.
They always come back.
Mm-hmm.
That is messing with your mental.
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And even when you try to stay like away for a long period of time and, let things like die down, you think move on, like a lot of times, but I get the call or I get a text
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
that's,
you go
and
right
it just
back.
go right back
And it
instantly.
do that
It's
type.
like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I letting this man hold on
Mm-hmm.
to me like this?
For a lot of
He
reasons.
got a hold on me.
Yeah, it was a spiritual. You got to think spiritually. We sleep with these men, right?
And everybody else that they sleeping with.
And everybody else that they sleep with.
Mm-hmm.
So with that happening, I got to a point where I realized, hold up, I don't want to sleep with the women you sleeping with, because I was actually, I could speak on the fact that I was even open to second wife, third wife, whatever.
I was definitely gonna get to that. I was gonna ask you, like why did he feel the need? I know that, with our culture, they have other wives and things like that. So were you against it? You wasn't against it, but why didn't it happen? Why did he? I mean, from your perspective, because I can't tell how he feel or what his train of thought was.
Mhm.
From your perspective, why didn't it happen? So that he didn't have to go and, sleep around with the next door fucking neighbor.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
And then when you repeat it out loud to me, I'm just like, oh my God, like this is really my life. Yeah. So I know that in my religion, in my faith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants the men of Islam the willpower to have multiple wives if they have lived up to the standard of a righteous man. Because that righteous man will have multiple duties to oversee, for example, princes, right?
Okay.
Give it back to the old times of war,
Okay.
where some men didn't come back from war. There we are, households and families of women who have children, and this man made it back, and he has money and another family. Allah has blessed him enough to provide for that family instead of sneaking and hiding from your wife. If it's allowed, have a conversation. They don't know how to do these things because times have changed. So because this law or this written word has been put into the Quran, and that's the only surah that niggas know. Because let's talk about it. They not reading their Qurans for real. They know that one surah and run with it.
Because they want to do this.
Yeah. So instead of getting in debt, because a man that's on his deen is going to get those blessings. And a wife may come because another woman can't bear.
Yeah.
So you might want a child with a woman, and you have that right as a man. And another woman who cannot bear doesn't have the right over that man to say he can't continue his legacy.
Right. Because every man should be able to continue their legacy.
So if you married Sarah and Sarah can't bear and Martha can, Martha will be your second wife under the conditions of having your legacy continue.
Right.
What's wrong with that? If you financially can provide for Martha and Sarah equally.
And I was about to say that.
So if Sarah and Martha want to live together, that's up to whatever is financially feasible. If you want to get separate houses, if that's financially feasible. So a lot of the things is very rare cases that men will have multiple wives and they're doing it correctly. Because you have to be financially stable, which is the blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be able to provide for these multiple wives. So in my case, broke nigga.
Oh, I was about to ask. So was he one to, was he one to, Was he a provider?
I mean, barely. So that's when I had to realize, like, okay, I don't even really deserve this. Like, I deserve way much more. Okay, I deserve. You're welcome for the explanation. Peace, and love to everybody that's joining.
That's right.
We have to break down because it's each one teach one, and a lot of people practice and live different ways, and they think like, oh, I'm gonna join this, and they don't know because it look good. But Islam is a lot of discipline. So even for a wife, me being open, right? Second wife, sure. Can she do nearly half the things I can do? Because that's another condition. You're not gonna marry no woman and she about to benefit everything I'm building with you,
Right.
or can run off.
It gotta be equal.
So who you bringing to the table? Because I am the table. So if you bringing another table and we gonna have two tables, it's extended family for sure.
Right.
Absolutely. She cook, I cook. Oh, laundry. It's look. We about to all be doing everybody's.
Yeah.
Whatever, and not to put it at that, but those simple little things,
Right.
like if you're not bringing a woman of complete excellence, power, purity. He was on Instagram, girl,
Finding girls.
DMing, dealing with whoever. Just like in all cases, we've all swimming. You at work doing overtime, pregnant, and the nigga got the nerve.
Pregnant. I had somebody in the daggone house.
I want to know when is it permissible to call.
And made a baby.
Yeah, that's crazy. Business.
And ain't have a dime.
Mm.
Ain't have a dime. Ain't have a dollar.
I'm so glad that you have been able to heal and got this platform, like I said, because continuance of speaking up and breaking the silence, because me not sharing my story is me being silent.
Yeah.
So somebody could see that it's somebody that's strong that got through, and it's not impossible to do. Like, get out, please. Like, soon as you see a toxic relationship,
Yeah.
get out of it, because
those red flags are big. We paint them green.
don't you like that?
Yes.
Look, look, take that and let the people know. Don't paint the red flag green.
Because we paint them green. And the crazy part is, didn't you know better? I knew better. And you know mine. I knew better. And I did not do better. And that's so crazy.
And that's
because my mom had me really young. So what she had me at 16, her last year in high school. And once my mom had me, my dad started becoming abusive to her. You know what I'm saying? And what she always tell me, man, or we talk about this all the time, and be like, well, what happened? And she'll be like, I can't believe you even got yourself into any of that because you knew what I went through. I told you. She didn't keep a secret from me. She didn't hide it. She didn't mask it or anything like that. I only remember one incident because, like I said, this was going on when I was a baby, but I remember an incident when I was like maybe like 8, something like that. I can remember this one incident, but she said he was very abusive. And then when I like talked to my aunts or like friends of my mom and stuff like that, and they start getting into detail about the stuff that my dad was doing, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy. And I knew, and then I really just went and got into the same situation. When we have daughters, we don't want our kids to go through the same thing we went through, right? Because you want better for your child, right? I have a daughter, so I want better for her. I don't want to see her hurting and stuff like that, or letting somebody, mentally, physically, financially, any type of abuse. I don't want her to have to, go through that. But as we get older and mom say go right, we go left. we stray off a little bit, and then eventually we'll pick it back up and be on the right path. But it's like we want to test the waters, and I tested the waters and drowned
Water, yeah.
and drowned in that water.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So that's an important fact and key. Listening to your mom. Okay, shout out everybody who was tuning in, listening to your mom. I think that with us having that as a lesson that we both, because my mother told me to leave when I was in, and I didn't listen to his mom when his mom let me know that he was not ready. So listening to moms, listening to your mom or another, because in relationships, the other person's parent, if you're the right person for them, like they're gonna tell you the truth, like about their child, especially if they know that you're a good person. So,
well, I don't know because I didn't get that.
no, in some cases,
I was about to say I didn't really get that, but I'm gonna tell you though because I always
if
feel
you
like
listen and pay attention. So in your
I
case,
should have been paying attention.
yeah,
That's what it was. I
yeah,
should have been paying
because
attention.
you gotta think, you a beautiful heart and soul.
Right,
So your children are a beautiful reflection of mashallah.
right.
So with you doing what you doing now, it's like kind of a redemption for what they would say because you if you don't mind took a life. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
I mean it is what it is. It's
Yeah,
public record.
right, right.
You know,
Because I know that this is
I'm
constant.
accountable. I'm accountable for my actions and
Absolutely.
things like that. I did my time
Yeah.
and stuff, so I'm accountable. I'm very aware of
Mhm.
what happened and what I did and what transpired and what led to the whole situation. It was years and years of abuse, and like we just said, the red flags were there, but I painted them green. I was so gone. All this dude. I was really gone, and that's crazy. But I was, and
And I was gone too, sis.
yeah,
I think that us knowing that now where we're at, it's okay because we're able to be accountable of ourselves
mhm,
to know what to do better, how to teach our daughters to do better by
right,
showing by example. Because
exactly.
being in relationships now is going to be way easier, especially when you set the boundaries of knowing. Like for me, I met this amazing man. Shout out to you, since we don't say names, right? You know who you are. And he makes me smile so much, knowing that love is not abuse. I will send you some pictures that I have. Love doesn't hurt. Love
At
is
all.
not pain.
It's time, Karen.
So
It's
I have pictures.
gentle. It's not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be roughed up and
Mm-mm.
you listen to me and down talking me and stuff like that. It's not supposed to be like that. And didn't it just took me a long time to realize that. So
And you deserve real, soft, gentle, loving, caring love.
yeah,
Yes, you do. And we as women, especially at 28, when the media doesn't do anything for what that looks like.
and I was 28 when that situation happened. That's why I said it's so crazy that me and you went through the same. And God, trust me, when I tell you, I only knew a snippet of what she was really going through until we actually just sat down right here. And so while I'm listening to her, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was me. I was the 28
And we
year
literally
old.
are neighborhood sisters.
Yes, we both from uptown. Shout out
Right.
to uptown.
Okay, uptown girls, stand up and break the silence. That's
Yes.
good.
It's so crazy that you at 28, you literally went through the same thing that I was going through at 28. So that's when that was my first time getting locked up.
Crazy.
That was my first time catching a charge, and of all the charges, it was the charge that it was, and that's the craziest thing. Like still to this day, I'm still like in awe, like, dang, like, wow, I really went like to the jail, to the prison, and like really sat down and did some time. And a lot of people will be like, it wasn't that much time. I did
I prayed for
2 years, eight and
I
a half
prayed for
months.
you at 17.
2 years, 8.5 months. And just
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
be like, that's not a lot of time. And I any
That was a
time
lot. That was a
is a
lot.
lot of time.
That was a lot.
It
That was a
is.
lot. That was a lot.
Any time is a lot of time. I'm just so grateful and gracious to be able to be home and still enjoy my kids and watch them grow and things like that. And but I also, feel, bad because my daughter and her siblings, they gotta grow without, father.
Mhm.
So that like always break me down or whatever, in spite of what anybody think or whatever. People just think I'm out here just living my best life without a care in the world. Like I don't have feelings or I don't have a heart. But yeah, it's cool.
And guess what? I know exactly those people actually personally. And I know that with the healing that we have to do as a community, you're going to also be able to look and say, despite what I have done, I know in God.
Right.
So,
So I'm definitely
without any tears and knowing that,
I am at peace. I am.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
I don't know, like people don't be doing this. And when like people pass away and stuff like that and they come to you in their your dreams and stuff like that,
real thing.
that is a thing. Like
Yeah.
it's so real because when I tell you this man came to me in my dreams a few times while I was locked up and it was so real. It felt so real. But I was able to apologize to him. And then there was another dream. He came to me to apologize to me for, everything that had been going on. He is the one that told me, you gonna be all right. You gonna get out of this. You gonna be able to watch your kids grow. But when you in them type of situations, you don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just sitting in the jail waiting. So I didn't know what was gonna happen, but he did. He told me that. Wow.
Confirmed that.
Yes.
So let's give an update to the people. My sister right here is an amazing queen who overcame her pain. She is holding a platform for me, who is another person who had to overcome my pain. I'm proud of the fact that you are doing this because I didn't know how I was going to get my story out before the end of October.
Oh.
And I knew that God wanted me to share it so that it's women out here or even men. I want the men to learn from our stories and situations because we are the daughters. We are the nieces. We are the granddaughters.
The sisters,
The
aunts,
sisters, the aunts.
the cousins, all of that. So yeah, so I'm glad that we both was able to, talk about this, and especially at this time of month. I feel like it's supposed to be done all year round, because it goes
It's a
on.
high issue.
It goes on every single day.
Yeah.
No, it's really somebody
Peace is
some
coming in.
somebody right now at this moment
Mm-hmm.
is getting hit right
Yeah.
now. Whether it's a male or a female,
Yeah.
somebody right now at this moment while we're sitting here, somebody is getting beat up on, and the system don't take it serious
Mm-mm.
enough.
I told you I called the police numerous of times. Luckily, I did run them over because I would be dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it like that, but that's the best way that I can like get it out because it's one of them instances where I know that in those situations where we see a passion crime,
Yeah,
it came from years of
a
abuse.
bit. Yeah, it's a buildup.
It's years of mental spiritual tainting. Like, even like I said, I was left for dead. That's how I'm able every day to know that I gotta protect my daughters. And if that's by leaving him, and I think that mothers don't get enough, what's it called, understanding or compassion when they want to take a break from the brother who's with them through abuse. Because how you expect me to co-parent with you,
Right.
and you beating my ass?
And do that make sense?
No, it don't.
It don't.
It don't. And we at a time right now where it's a severe issue and a severe problem. And we got to do something about it because we the adults. So as a 33-year-old, looking at going into 33, shout out Scorpio. I know we creep. Someone right now is also getting clarity on their own personal journey. Thank you, Dip the Block. We just want to do it for the people that need to understand that this is not it. Toxic love is not cool. It's not a thing. I don't approve of it. If my daughter was in a toxic relationship, I would tell her to run.
Yes.
If you in a toxic relationship, I'm telling you to run. For somebody who survived a toxic relationship, I'm glad that you have this platform and continue to provide in safe spaces because they didn't have one for you when you was.
Yeah, that's true.
And you had to create it with nothing. We in your living room right now, but the people will never know. Y'all don't know that she created her home to be a safe haven for myself and other women to express and talk about a major issue that is not talked about enough.
That's all. And it's going on all around the world. Whether you black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, everybody, they're going through it.
I'm glad that you said that because I just have a friend. And Prima, this is for you. This is for you. This is for you. I lost my friend's brother. People, somebody want to join in. Do we let the people join in?
Yeah, that's on your line.
Okay. I'm going to let you join. I want to get this out. Prima lost her brother to a young woman who decided to kill him, stabbed him up, left him for dead for the family to clean up, didn't call. That right there, she called me crying every day. I heard her mother in the background crying. I don't know what to do. All I've been doing is praying. Because now she don't have her brother. He married this woman. I don't know the full details, but I know he not here no more.
Right.
And I know at some moment, because when you just said you never had the thoughts to actually go kill somebody. This act is a heinous act that we got to know that somebody has to be held accountable. Where can I find your platform, Neighborhood Sisters? Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm going to pin it on here for you, sister, so you can keep connected. Prima lost her brother, and he don't have a life no more. You have a son. So if we keep this up, we're gonna lose our sons and our nephews.
That's what the system want anyway. So they don't want us to reproduce, and they don't want our
Talk about it.
our black boys to
Talk about it. We're gonna let this person join in.
And be great black men. They
Talk
want
about
them to hurt the women or kill themselves or kill each other so that they so that they so that so that we won't procreate.
Yeah.
Because they don't want us here.
And you know what? I just went to Africa.
I know. Oh my gosh. I want to go too. And you look like you had the time of your life. Like,
I tell you, you saw that I want to this guy, he was mentally abusing me. He pushed me to go to Africa even harder because that's where he from.
Mm.
And he used to be on top of me, beating my ass like, you black American bitch. You will never be able to go to my country.
Oh.
You don't know how to act.
Mm.
Wake it up. Yeah. You'll never know how to act. You don't know how to act. You'll never know how to act in my country. I'm not taking you. You don't know how. Da, 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 da. And I said, and I always wanted to go. And I always wanted to take my daughter. And I was able to take my oldest daughter, Azari. Shout out my baby. Our birthday's coming up. We got the same birthday. But she went, had the time of her life, was able to be free. I feel like that was a healing trip for us as well because we needed to just do something. First time on the beach.
Okay.
So I had never took her to like an ocean city or nothing like that because we would get into fights. Every time we were supposed to do something, we would get into the craziest fights. Excuse me. And going back and trying to mother after that, after you're beat down.
So y'all wasn't able to do family vacations
No,
and things
we
like
couldn't
that
do
because it was
nothing.
too
It
toxic.
was too
I
toxic.
remember a time where we was going, what was we going? We wasn't going nowhere. I was just in the house. He called and was like, "Oh, I want to take you to the hotel." And that was a red flag. Look, it was a red flag. But the green one I saw, I was like, I was hesitant, but I went anyway. And I was like, I got the baby. He was like, she can come. I was like, oh my God. As I'm getting in this car, I was like, what if he try to do something to me and my baby or me and then just take my baby?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was my thought. But I was already in the car.
Spirit.
Was already in the car and I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. I was like, Pusha, you being crazy right now. Like, why? You know that it's something wrong with this guy or whatever, and you just will still just go. Like, that's what I'm saying. This being green, just green for no reason. Like, that's so crazy. And I'm telling you, my mother did not teach me that or whatever. Like, I just went off. I was in my own world at this point. I'm just in my own world because ain't no way.
That's what abuse does. It creates like it creates another realm.
Yeah, because I definitely was in another something.
You are. It's I forget the psychological term. I know it's battle woman syndrome that you are now encountering because studying mental health helped me understand that I was in a certain situation and how to get out is by knowing the triggers, the boundaries, the terminologies of narcissism. Everybody knows that word, right?
That's like the new word, right?
But do you really know the severity of a narcissist?
Well, yeah, so being so everybody was been talking about it so much, I had to like really, look it up and like read and like I was like, dang, so what was really going on? I said that's crazy. So I hate the fact that everybody just use it so freely, but
it's a real
thing.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
And mental health is real. And I think that when we get to a point where we understand that mental health, it's your mental health, right?
Right.
So when we are unaware of how to take care of our mental health, mental health is the most important because it's your mind.
Right, exactly.
So enable for you to even be a healthy person, you have to have the mind to be wanting that. Relationships, the marriage, the relationship. We were psychologically placed into an unhealthy situation because for me, I know that I was married and I felt like with Islam, this man is the closest thing to what I know as Allah. And this is where I need to be, and this is who I need to be with. So I felt like once I got to the path of kept being on my deen and psychologically knowing like, hey, you're crazy if you stay with this man because he's not even serving God. He's not serving Allah. So you have to understand what you're doing. And everything that you keep allowing is going to keep happening.
Cause it did. It did. It started off small,
It started off very
very
small.
small. Then it started off, and then get big, and then it gets so big that it's not controlled.
It's not.
Yeah, it get that big that it's not controlled anymore.
So there's a lot of symbolism that we have. I'm really interested to this connection because we were both 28 when we first got with a toxic person.
No, I wasn't 28 when I got
okay.
into that was the last year.
Oh God. Okay.
That's when I got
So
that's when I got locked up.
And then that's oh wow. So that's the interconnection.
Yes.
So you were releasing, and I was entering. Very interesting.
Very much so interesting. That's why I said that is so interesting. And then the fact that, and I'm gonna tell you another one, the fact that you and your daughter share the same birthday, so y'all the same sign. Me and my son, we 4 days apart, so we share the same sign.
Which is
a Taurus.
Right. Okay.
Yes. That's why I said that's so crazy. And then the fact that that's why I said when you said the first time him putting his hands on you, it was like in the car. In the car. Yes, I missed the work the next day because of that. And then like my coworkers would like be calling me and stuff like that. Like I didn't when I was working, I didn't have a car. So like he would like take me back and forth to work. You would be up the street at the other girl place, like literally right.
That you're at work.
No. He would leave me in the house knowing I had to go to work, knowing that I'm the one that was paying these bills and stuff like that. Leave me in the house because he up the street, but come get me late. Like I used to have to call my coworkers. They used to have to pick, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but they would have to get the client, come to the house to pick me up to go to work sometimes. Or I would have to call my sister that lived all the way on the other side of town to get to work. Especially if I didn't have, this was before Ubers and stuff like that. Like if I didn't have like to get on a cab. One day I fell down the hill. My baby was born in 2010. So in 2010 we had like a big blizzard, and I was trying to go to work, trying to walk to work. I worked around Congress Park, and I was trying to walk to work and slipped and fell down the hill while I was pregnant. All the while, his car right there, cause he in the other building with the other girl.
The pain that we have to endure. But you know what I started asking myself was, how long am I gonna put myself through this? Right. How long am I gonna allow a brother to treat my mother, my Taurus mother, my mother Taurus? Shout out to all the Taurus. I see one of my friends just joined. She's a Taurus as well. Shout out for it. Peace and love, Millie moms, all the Millie moms. The crazy thing is, I'm allergic to cats, and the cat don't even bother me because it's God and ordained.
Hey, he never comes out.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's one of Allah's creatures, and so I love cats. I'm just allergic, which is weird because I'm not feeling any type of allergy. But I know that that's a Taurus gang. Shout out all the Taurus. Hey, yes, Taurus are such loving people, very stubborn at times.
Yes.
And so that is probably what keeps y'all very connected in relationships. Because being a daughter of a Taurus, I can see that from my mother. But y'all are short on what y'all like. How do God want me to word this to help you? To help every Taurus mom out there, right? Taurus are very strong minded. So when y'all are set on how y'all gonna provide for your child, it's already like set. Like nobody can take y'all from the fact that that's what y'all gonna do. The turn comes when it's a relationship and a partner. So if you're in a relationship with somebody, it's important for anybody, but especially towards to have somebody that's watering them because y'all are earth.
Because we nurturers. Yeah.
So you gotta think, what do the earth signs do? They nurture. They're the nurturers. So those are naturally. So our earth signs are way. That's why I talk about water. Scorpio.
Right.
So the world's hated sign, darling. Sorry, love us. Everybody needs a Scorpio because we're gonna put the sting on. Let them know. Stop playing. Break the silence. We not being silent no more. Yeah. So Taurus moms are healers, natural. So the partner that you're with, you have to be with somebody that waters you.
Right.
So that's why I tell people pay attention to astrology because that's what this gets into. I probably shouldn't be hey, don't let me let y'all say the wrong thing because the Muslims probably like, why is this lady up there talking about that? Hey, I study everything of the world.
But that's how you're supposed to learn. You're supposed to study everything.
I practice Islam, but I have studied everything.
Right, because you're supposed to know what you're taking in. So if I don't know nothing, I gotta read the Bible. I gotta read the Quran. I gotta read everything so that I can, inform myself about what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Astrology. I like astrology, and I always tell people, your your sign does not define you. It's about your upbringing also. So if the upbringing, of course, if your upbringing was wrong and everything they say about your sign, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's me, that's me, that's me. No, because guess what? Anything that's going on in life, you can change it or whatever. So no matter what you're like, my sign say I'm lazy.
No, Taurus can be lazy.
Exactly.
When they get in, when y'all get in y'all mode, because as a daughter,
we can be, but I don't have to be.
No, exactly. But that's the thing. So it's like with me and knowing the characteristics, that part comes from when y'all get into y'all depression.
Right.
They don't go into the detail to let it be known. Like
exactly.
Yeah,
They just say it. Right?
Exactly.
Taurus, lazy, stubborn.
Yeah.
That. Nah, but say why.
Y'all stubbornness also comes from the factors of knowing that you deserve good.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like y'all don't. One thing I know about Taurus, y'all don't settle for like just anything. So it's like when you get into a situation that you know y'all deserve better and the best, it's kind of like a push and pull because what complacency, not lazy. Facts. I love it. Come through, Taurus. Fix the terminology so we know.
Exactly.
Yeah, complacent, not lazy. I like that. Yeah, because a lot of the times I always see my Taurus women love me, pouring out so much. That is like eventually y'all do get stubborn to the facts of I'm not dealing with the bullshit. I don't want to deal with nobody. That's my mother. I don't want to deal with nobody. Wasn't nobody there when I had you going through this. I was there for me, and so was God. So I don't want to deal with nobody.
Right.
That's the stubbornness that you have to stay away from.
Exactly.
You rob yourself of the resource, the jewels,
because
the gift.
And it's negative energy. Negative energy.
I love the fact that you are not complacent and you are understanding that your platform is important. And dipped in guac is laughing because that's real. So this platform is something that I definitely want us to pour into Millie Moms because our sister is providing a safe space. That right there alone is commendable and remarkable. And I love you. Because what if you would have been out? What if you were still locked up?
That's always still
You would not be able to do this.
no, I wouldn't. And it's so crazy because even while I was in there, I would like talk to, and they always put me like with young girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, why would you put me
You
with young
always
girls
been like that.
by myself? I'm chill by myself. Like, let me just do my time and just go home to
Mhm.
my babies and stuff like that. But it don't work like that. It don't always work the way we want it to work. It
Mhm.
worked the way it's supposed to work. So I'm able to, I was able to do the work in there, and I came home and still is able to do the work.
So, just so y'all know, I know y'all probably wondering, y'all need a podcast and we all need a spa day. Yes, I have the party bus planned for us to go to the spa. I love the fact that you love the spa, so let's go ahead and, yeah, you organize it and we will come. Look, no, for real, because my other tour sister, she snuck off the King Spa without me. We were supposed to have a King Spa. Yes, like,
And it's so funny. We went there.
they know, I know.
Yeah, look, it's so funny.
We need to do that regularly. I'm actually going to be reaching out to some spas and wellness centers for experiences for us to take moms and other women to because I have my 501c3
Okay.
and that's what we need to utilize. So we invite to the
Your
school.
mom?
Of course,
Thank you.
nothing. Look, that's why they put the boss in position so I can create the other bosses that need to be here and we do the paperwork for free because we can do it.
Thank you. That part.
And you was already a boss before I came along, but I got to push the little button to be like 501c3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we got also realized it's a lot of people that don't want you doing better than them. I'm gonna get it to help you just so that I can be like, okay, this is important because I know what you're doing.
Right.
And if I don't help, it's a disservice to these other women out there. That's what the elders taught me. When it comes to like doing stuff, they let me know in the spiritual realm, you doing a disservice.
So Nashawn helped you through your situation.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to any other, places for healing or like, cause we got like a lot. So being so domestic violence is
She got her ticket for Spa World, planning to go the first Friday of November. Spa World, I don't think I like Spa World. But we're gonna explore the details. Spa World is located in Virginia.
oh okay.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. I'm sorry. Get back to that.
So you good. Asking about the other services, right?
Right.
So because I can't get like them type of services when I came home. I just came home. My family was just like real supportive of me, my aunts, uncles, and stuff like that. So they just like here. I had money saved up, and then they of course they was giving me money. So I didn't do none of the services that is provided for.
No, that's what I was about to say. Where we met, Reentry Action Network.
Right.
That is an avenue that we have to always take advantage of because being returned citizens. See, you might not get the direct domestic violence resource,
Right.
but having that reentry action network provides you with another way to navigate how you can get housing, um, services, how you can get clothes voucher, you know what I'm saying? Certain other things.
IDs and social and stuff like that. And see, so I didn't take advantage of the resources because I already had like a lot of stuff when I came home. I already had my ID. I already had my license. My license will never expire. I already had my social. I already had my birth certificate. Like I had already so much stuff. It wasn't until I had lost my job. No, I resigned from one job thinking that I was gonna get this other job, like a better paying job, because it's expensive. So I was trying to, provide for my kids.
Right.
So I ended up resigning basically too quick, too soon. Before I had the job. The shoe, it was a shoe in. You know what happened? Background check. So then they did like this investigation. They asked me like everything that was going on and stuff like that. And it's so crazy because so my I got charged. My initial charge was first degree murder, right? But I took a plea or whatever. I could have went through the whole trial and things like that, and if they would have gave me like an outrageous amount of time, I could have did the appeal and stuff like that. But you know, the wait
Was that what you
was the
wanted to do though?
that was the wait process.
Was that your decision though, honestly? Like looking back, like I know for me after serving 18 months, after facing 4 to 20 years, but knowing that I didn't do anything, I didn't commit any crime. I just was with somebody that committed a crime, but I didn't do their work, didn't
Right.
do the police's job, which was to, investigate or snitch, right?
Right.
Did you full fledged? Because we gotta think domestic violence cases. Copping a plea, was that your initial instinct to say, you know what, I'm not going to take this to trial?
Well, no, because they gave me a lot of pleas. I think I got like three, maybe I might have got 3 or 4 different like
Plea
plea
offers.
offers, and I shut all of them down. Like, no, going to trial. No, going to trial. No, going to trial, or whatever. Because so like the truth is gonna come out, or whatever the case is. When I got my discovery, I didn't even know a lot of stuff. So even the day that everything transpired, I didn't know that the same one that he had I was in the other building or whatever the case is, they was together and they had gotten to like some type of altercation.
So there was domestic violence because then she reported.
Well, actually, she didn't report it. It just was, they was in a public place.
Right. Okay.
Cameras and stuff like that. So, it was already something going on. I didn't know that was even going on. You know what I'm saying? So.
And that's why releasing the person that's domestic is important because, like for me, I know that wherever this person is now, because I did release him, he is. I'm hoping you're getting the help. Like I really am. I really hope that you're not hurting another woman the way that you hurt me.
Right.
Because that would be unfortunate. I feel like my family's like, well, you should have called the police, or his mom is like, well, why didn't you call? And I'm like, you don't really want your son in jail,
right?
So let's just stop. Like I don't want to see my children's father in jail,
right?
So to keep it fair, I have released him and found a better thing, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam has kept me at a peaceful stage of my life where met a new man. And Allah said, I will bless you, have you be pure and obedient to me. And I didn't go around sleeping around looking for temporary comfort.
And you know what? That's so crazy because I did. Whatever. Before I, started back talking to him, I did went and found somebody else, and that's how I ended up having my son. And then after I had my son, I went right back to the same situation that I left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you said, temporary comfort and things like that. So yeah, I did a back and forth thing. And the last time I went back, that's when that happened.
I could share something that would probably shock the world because of my boldness to share this. But for women who are looking for temporary comfort, I think that is a good example for them to know, like, hey, be pure to yourself. Because what I've learned is it's unhealthy spiritual hygiene when you sleep with just anybody, right? To yourself. And you're disservicing yourself because in that instance, you're going to go seek something from someone when you can just pray, you can meditate, you can read a book, you can self-please, right? As they will call masturbation, but masturbation is terrible for people and I'm just putting that out there. But self-pleasing, knowing that, hey, I'm not going to abuse myself by sleeping with someone I barely know or that I might have met on Instagram or at a bar or,
Right.
I'm going to love myself.
Mhm.
Self-pleasing does not have to be masturbating. Self-pleasing can be spa dates, um, going
Self-care,
self-care,
meditation,
right.
those type of things.
That's something
I
I found
agree.
for myself. Like,
But at that point in time, no,
no,
you know what I'm
for
saying.
sure,
So
for sure.
this is something that I had to learn when I came home and stuff like that, and or while I was incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
So cause I'm by myself, I am pure and things like that. So I don't know. Me, like you said, self pleasing. It wasn't none of that going on. That wasn't even a thought
Mm-hmm.
in my mind. It was just me just trying to get home to my kids. And my son was a baby. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I was really like focused on.
Yeah.
So back to me doing the plea. That's the reason why I took it was because of my son was so young
Mm-hmm.
and I knew the process of the system
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, dang, like if because what's the lady name? Angela also Brooks. She was because I got caught my charge in Maryland. So she was the state's attorney. And automatically, so they couldn't charge me with first degree murder, even though that's what the initial charge was. They had to still drop it down. So before I took the plea, they was talking about dropping it down to second degree, which yes, which would be uh 30 years. Like 30 years. My kids gonna be grown. I'm not gonna see them. Like they gonna have their own kids. I'm missing graduations, proms, birthdays, etc. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God, that's missing so much or whatever. So I didn't take that. I didn't take that plea of a second degree charge. So they kept on and see and this is the only reason why I feel like I should have. Because if you could drop my time all the way down to manslaughter, which that's where y'all ain't really had too much.
Mm-mm.
Y'all ain't had nothing for real.
Mm-mm. And see, that's why it's important for us to fight.
Right.
That's why I was asking, because I've been studying law since I had the situation with my daughter in the hospital.
Mm.
That's why I was asking. And after beating, because I was facing 4 to 20, and the judge just knew he was definitely sentencing me to at least 4 years
Mm.
for this attempted robbery that occurred that I had nothing to do with. But
Right.
I knew that I was going to just take it to trial.
Right.
However, I had the trial, and it was a judge trial, not a jury trial.
Okay.
So I had a trial in Montgomery County
Mm-hmm.
for uh, this charge as a child, and I knew that I was innocent. So when the judge made the ruling of sitting there and saying I lied on the stand because of my grades and because I had a C and I said I had A's and B's, some bullshit, right? I knew at that moment we don't fight enough
Right.
because I was free to go. That's why when my sentencing came, my mother had everybody, including the whole Kennedy Street, at the sentencing, and he like, who the heck are you? And I'm like, yeah, my mother's daughter.
No, for real.
Of course. Had the whole uptown, the church, the people that I didn't even like from my high school.
Mm-hmm.
She even had the girls that did. I was like, why you got them here? She was like, support.
Yeah,
They here.
yeah, because I had a lot of support.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of people write letters
Yeah.
and things
I
like
think
that
I
for
might have wrote a
me.
letter while I was locked up.
Yeah, a lot of people wrote letters and things like that for me. Especially like people that grew up with me that really like genuinely.
I'm telling you, I was one of those. I was devastated when I found out that.
So everybody was able to come together and support me. it's so crazy because even while I was in there, um, my stuff made the news, right?
Yeah.
So this one girl came in there. She was like, "Your name, such and such, woo woo," and I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "Man, I just," she was like, "I know there ain't no internet and stuff in here." She was like, "But you are so loved outside."
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "You gotta be a good person
Yes. You are.
because you are so."
Yes.
She was like, "I
Thank
know a lot."
God.
She was like, "I follow a lot of people that
Thank God.
follow," and she was like,
Alhamdulillah.
"Everybody is posting you."
Yes.
She was like, "I feel like I know you because of the way everybody is like."
Yes.
Being so genuine
Yes.
and like caring, they rooting for you and your kids and stuff like that. So I was like,
And
"Hey,
I manifested you. Remember I said that from the jail cell, the story I'm telling you about
right,
is how I manifested you. But I never knew that I was going to have to go through almost losing my life for us to connect.
yeah, that's crazy."
But God
Yeah,
put me through that, right?
right.
So that I can be with you right now on your couch. For us to be overseas internationally having these type of conversations.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful or whatever, and
Me
I'm
too.
humble.
You're not gonna have me cry my lashes off.
No, because I don't want to cry my lashes
Hey,
off.
hey, salam alaikum, sister. Peace. She got me over here about to cry the lashes off. It's not happening. I released all the pain. I'm living in peace. Shout out to
But
Purple
this is more
Peace.
so if with it's been released, that's happy tears. That's like that's tears
But
of
I'm not doing
joy.
it today because I have to
I don't want to. I don't want to.
cycle.
I don't want to cry my lashes off. Though.
But when I talking to you, you was like, I'm getting ready. I'm putting them
I
on.
said I'm about to put my lashes.
We ain't doing that. Stop. But we are letting go. Uncomfortable conversations are important to have.
Yeah.
Shout out XI Magazine. She is actually going to be doing a podcast as well for community conversations. So, yeah, I definitely want to connect y'all. Like, I found out that it's all about connections.
It is about connections, and I'm really
And don't gatekeep. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand what's going on in our
Okay,
society.
pass the baton
Yeah.
down to the next person. You don't have to hold
Give
it.
the resource, like it's public information
Right,
anyway.
exactly. And I don't feel like people do that enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down with you. We're gonna go through the process, get your stuff solidified for the 501c3. Because somebody had to sit down with me, and I would like to do that. That's how we pay it forward. That's how I get my blessings. I don't know about anybody else. How
Right.
y'all set up, but I know that I done had a situation where my daughter that's in the hospital. I ain't had no food during Ramadan and was hungry, but all I could do was make it to the hospital because I just wanted to spend time
What you're doing. Exactly.
and all I had was some crackers and some water. And I never forget, this was the first time she was able to eat by mouth because they told me she'd never eat. She had to eat through a tube. In that moment, I lost all my happiness. In that moment, I ain't called the day before. I didn't call. I just and was thankful. I had two juices and some crackers. The lady from the hospital. That very next day, Mama Joe took me to uh what's that called? Mastro's?
Maestro. Yeah, and shout out to Mama Joe.
Okay. Shout out the queen, the one and only, who took me under her mentorship and guided me and took me and said, do the right thing for you and your babies. If you're not gonna do nothing else, do that. Because I believe in you and I see you. And she put me in position with her program director as her organization. That's how I'm able to have the knowledge that I have with family resources. Because of Parent Watch. Shout out Parent Watch. Shout out every organization that is assisting if I don't get a personal one, right? Shout out every organization that's personally helping and assisting families that are returning citizens like us.
Yeah.
Because they probably don't know.
My girls from the YMCA, I love them over there. Those my girls. I'm part of their organization also. So yeah, it's good. It's a good women network for incarcerated um women that's returning home. So
Yes.
shout out
You'll
to
never think that returning citizens could look this cute. Mhm. And bossed up, got our own, knowing that we love ourselves and being able to say, hey, I'm not going to be silent about the issues just because everybody else.
Yeah, nobody. I honestly thought that, being as though all of us had went through the same thing, I thought that, in spite of what that he lost his life, I thought that all the other women would like just stand up and be like, me too.
Hmm. No, they only do the Me Too movements when they can get money.
Mhm.
You know how with the P. Diddy situation and the sexual assaults,
Right.
women do that. Ooh, they gonna, this gonna hurt. It's real talk though. Women don't speak up anymore when it matters when money's not involved.
Mm.
Because if you was getting a check, and I'm gonna have to use the bathroom, we're gonna have to take a break. Look, we're gonna have to take a break and let's talk to the people because I gotta use the bathroom. I've been holding it in. Look, if you could get a check for domestic violence and what, like how you can get child support,
Mhm. So,
they'd be coming out the. Me too, me too, me too. I was. It'll be sad.
mm,
You'll see nothing but people speaking up on the issue. But because it's not something that comes with compensation,
mhm.
women just hide and they pain. Because I know it's painful if you're going through domestic violence. Because it was
It
painful
is.
for me.
And it was painful for me. It is. That's painful.
I'm sorry that it took that
It took that.
5 for me, and it was 5 too long.
That was too long. Because that first red flag, that time in the car, we should have left. Then that's when we should have left.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take a break real quick. I see my girl dipped in guac. She's saying 4. I'm gonna be connecting with you. Follow Girls Groove Ladies, supporting preteen and teen girls in auto engineering. I hope that you're not enduring the pain that we are enduring or have endured because you deserve better. And I know as a Taurus, nurturing yourself, you are going to get yourself. Because I see you from a realistic level. I know that you're going to do what you have to do to take care of yourself. Now I want Miss Williams to speak directly to Miss Dipton Guap. And is there any advice you would have?
Best advice, you don't have to go through this. And guess what? You don't have to go through this by yourself. You don't have to go through this alone. I'm available if you need to talk or anything like that. I'm at Neighborhood Sisters Podcast. You can call me. My number 202-560-1273. Again, 202-560-1273. Um, and just know that you're gonna be okay. You're gonna go when you're ready to go. But don't let it be too late. I'm not finished though. Yeah,
Yes, you need to.
so you can share it or save it or
Yeah.
put a caption on it.
I need to see. For sure. You know how we do that. And we're back. We're back. We're back. Cause I know we still recording. Um, I know that the last point was dipped in guac. You was actually a good sister.
I know.
Yeah.
Gave her my number too.
Yeah, that needs resources, and you never know who you're gonna help.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't know that she was gonna do anything, so I'm glad to know that now she's connected to you. And but that's when I realized that I'm the connect, and that's what God wants me to do. Move is the connect. But a lot of people run from their callings, or they don't understand their calling.
Yeah, cause I didn't, and I used to go to. I was like that. I used to go to church every Sunday. I used to read the Bible. Me and my homegirl Twinkles, and then shout out to Twinkles. That's my girl. When I tell you, me and her got through the.
Shout out Twinkle.
We got through a time while we was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And she also, I'm gonna get her to come. Oh, I'm gonna call her and see if she wanna come do it because so she can share her story.
Okay.
Because she was in there for the same thing. So like, but she's such a sweet person, like so sweet.
I think that that's something.
Beautiful
If you can
inside and
create an
out.
alliance of women, other women that you've experienced and endured this with, this will create unity for you and other women, so that y'all can have y'all own. Because you have to create it for sure. It's you. It's you saying how you sit. See how you sit here saying you ain't had the resources.
Right.
It's you creating that. Neighborhood sisters, your other organization that you have with the young girls, all of your different platforms are going to collide into one actual hub, which would be your 501c3. No, look, what you about to put? Cause you moving fast. Look, this us.
Yeah, that's us.
That fast. Okay, look. What you want me to put?
Oh, your caption can be your caption. Just tag the page in it.
Right. Okay. Okay. Got you. So, um, hold on. Before you do that, right? Uh, okay. I want to send you. I get my Chat GPT. What hashtags you using?
Oh,
That's
I just did. Don't be silent.
do
What you do?
NDV.
Oh, okay.
Break the cycle. Speak out.
Okay.
Cause I learned was doing marketing. This is how people gonna find this.
Yeah.
And keep these for yours. So whenever you
Okay.
posting domestic violence awareness, yeah, that's a hashtag too. Though.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had studied marketing for a year and um, digital marketing, social media marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, for a year. You'll be surprised who you can you got it. Break this up. NDV. Your strengths when you tap into yourself. You don't got a toxic partner. I'm gonna do this. Watch this. Girl, I be moving like an old lady with these robots. So when you do it, I just make it.
Oh, that's my boo.
Mm, when you copy and paste.
Oh shoot. It's
But
on that phone. That's why.
I sent it to that one. What's that number?
202
Mm-hmm.
464 03
Mm-hmm.
4879.
Yeah, you know you don't have to edit that out.
Girl, what nobody calling this phone? And if they do, I don't care.
Right. Okay. So you can have it now. But keep that because that's a part of your brain.
Mm.
So learning brain management, we have to stay consistent with the brain. So when I tell my clients is these right here, the everybody need to be sharing this
Mm.
because these is your hashtag. So now whenever anybody goes searching this,
Mm-hmm. It's gonna come up.
hmm so see, and then you get ChatGPT to create stuff. So I got it to do that, right? And then I'm gonna say, okay, I might tell it, create a caption for domestic violence awareness for neighborhood. That's all it takes sometimes is to sit down and show somebody something. Sisters podcast. When did you start?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. Shoot. Oh, 23.
Okay.
23. Yeah, 23.
Started 2023. I'm used to saying last names because we gotta be professional. And with Mama Joe, she's showing me like, you know what I'm saying? But what do you go by? Because I can put,
Portion.
okay.
For my name.
Okay. You got me like this, so sound of
I definitely prefer my name.
also survivor.
Miss Williams is my mother.
Right. I love it.
That's her name.
Also survivor. Right. Citizen. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what you are.
Yeah, I am.
That's it. That's it. And once we establish the boundaries and the guidelines, now we lift you up. Like how you said you came home, because you got to think I was 17 when you was in.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't in no weird position, especially I couldn't help you in a domestic violence relationship I was in.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was meditating and Allah sent you, I had crossed paths with somebody who we both know.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Right.
So within my healing, I tried to work with that person because that's what they claim that they do.
I know. And I honestly, I don't have no problem.
Yeah, but it's a
Or whatever the
disservice.
case is. And
when-
I love, what she does and everything, but before she started doing that, she was doing other things. And, I supported, what she had going on. Like we was cool. I thought it was genuine, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. That's okay because everybody that you cross paths with is not going to be, genuine.
Mhm.
And it was a temporary thing. And people are in your life for, reasons and seasons. So we cross paths with each other, and then that season is just gone.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's
And that's
all.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nothing else. The season is just gone, and I'm cool with
I
that.
think I might have created a understanding more when I because you gotta think your love that you gonna have for somebody
Mm-hmm.
can even be evil eyed.
Mm-hmm.
So when I cross paths and knowing that this young lady's father is no longer here anymore and I'm friends with
Right.
this woman,
Mm-hmm.
I reassured to the young lady, you know what I'm talking about, because you
Right.
can't say
Yeah, we
nothing.
don't say name.
I made it reassured to her that she ain't mean no harm. And it was out of a crime of passion.
Right.
And she was hurt.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
with me wanting to mentor her, I think it was too close home.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So she robbed her of coming around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that I had a young lady at my house that was staying with me recently who was going through a domestic violence situation. And the only reason why she ended up at my house is because the shelter did a disservice to her and wouldn't extend her voucher.
Right. And
It's
that's
young girls that's going through it.
I know, because so
19.
teen dating domestic violence awareness month it's in March, and you wear orange, and during the month of March to support teens that go through
Yeah.
domestic violence.
Yeah.
And when I first came home, I was doing credible messenger work.
Okay.
With, through DYS and
Mhm.
things like that. So a lot of the young ladies that I was working with, every last one of them, well, yeah, every last one of them was going through domestic and teenagers.
Mm.
And I didn't experience it, so I thought as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
As I could, rewind back sometimes in my head with, my a teenage boyfriend, and I was like, dang,
I never had a domestic violence relationship.
it wasn't physical
Right.
or anything like that. It wasn't that.
Oh, I
It
get
was,
what you're saying. Okay.
yeah, it was more
You
so
just got to see whether any type of mental,
exactly out the
financial.
stages of it, and it was. I was like, dang. I really was I was a teen going through that too. Didn't even know, because guess what? If you're not aware of something, how would I know? It's not like I read about it or anything like that. When it was my mom going through her situation, I just thought it was just physical. So my mom, she wasn't able to go into, depth about domestic violence. I just really thought that it was just a physical thing. So I just thought like, just don't let them put their hands on you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you read and things like that,
I'm listening to you. I'm just
no, I know you good. When you read and stuff, then that's when you realize, like, hold on,
Mm-hmm.
it's bigger than that. It's bigger than the physical.
It's mental,
Yes,
spirit,
and so
financial.
I didn't know that until it actually, until I,
That was in your self-reflection.
yeah, until I revisit my past. I was like, dang, did go through that. I
Mm.
said, sure.
Mm.
As a teen, I went through it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure the guy probably didn't think nothing of it, didn't think he was doing no harm or anything like that. But when I sit back and I reflect on it, I'm like, oh wow. I took myself through that too at an early age. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay, dang. Like but now I understand it so well, that the signs there.
You're right.
Yep. That the signs are there, what the signs are, and things like that. So I'm able to help the young ladies, in their
Speak
situation.
their truth.
Yes, in their situation and things like that. So shout out to them young ladies also. Those will forever be my babies.
Yeah.
So that's how I base my my nonprofit around them.
Okay.
So the logo for my nonprofit is them.
Okay.
I thought that was cool.
It's them as far as the girls.
Yeah, it's their faces. It's on it. I wanted to make them the face.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
These are the teen girls.
they were
Okay.
when I first started. They're older now, so they're young adults.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yes, I wanted
So
to
what
make
you
them the face.
also probably want to do as well with me for Black History Month, I'm doing an exhibit at Martin Luther King Library.
Okay.
And I'm doing the exhibit, and I don't know yet if I'm going to put up my actual experience. Yeah, I think God wants me to show the world. But like, I have pictures from the abuse.
You know what? When they took my phone, or whatever, I let them keep it. So I don't have no pictures or anything from it, because I just let them keep the phone. And they told me I could come pick it up, but I didn't want those memories. I didn't want those memories. I wanted to leave that past in the past. When they released me, I released all of that. I said I don't want to revisit it or whatever. But I didn't know that I would revisit it at any given time because I wanted people to hear my story. I wanted to talk about it so that I could help somebody else out of this type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So I got this. Today I was a guest on Neighborhood Sisters Podcast. Sisters Podcast, a platform of healing, resilience, and empowerment founded by Portia, a survivor and returning citizen. We share our journeys to inspire women, families, and men to break the silence around domestic violence. Together, we create a space for understanding, growth, and change. Your story matters too. And then the hashtag. But ChatGPT did that, though, sis.
I love it.
I told it somewhat of what I needed,
And then they put that together. I love it.
so use it for
Okay.
your advantage.
Okay.
Download it yesterday.
Okay. Thank
No,
you.
for real, because it helps me with my grants. It helps me with my everyday everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, people don't they don't what you call it. They don't allow others to get the resource. I want you to win. So I'm gonna give you any and every resource that I took for Millie Moms or Arcanet, whatever, for you because you deserve like to be blown up 5,000 triple amount of where you at now because of everything you've been through. And anybody that understand that is somebody like your sister, neighborhood sister. Hello. We ain't gotta be blood, ain't gotta come from the same mother and father. You is my sister.
That part.
And I wholeheartedly believe that you are gonna make a difference. And the Pearls of Peace got us on there. Floyd, where everybody that's seen the live interview. So at this point, they gon' we gonna let that be what that is. But I wanted to show you the album that I made that is in honor of this month because it's not memories that I want to hold on to either, but um it's a testimony. And so I created this album. The quote that starts it off is some things break your heart, but fix your vision. Read that again. So it broke my heart, but I needed these pictures to show me where I'm never gonna go back to.
And I'm just so glad that like your
So
skin is healed.
on this day right here, September 7th of last year, this was me. September 7th this year, I met my new boo.
I'm just so glad your skin and stuff is healed from that.
Who treats he jumps out the car to get my door.
As he should. I I was so glad that, when I had got locked up, my lawyer came to see me, he was like, because I'm looking at your neck, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, your neck look like really bad." He was like, "Did they take pictures of you?" You know, they didn't take pictures and stuff of me.
That's insane.
And also, I will encourage everybody to like, if this is going on, please document it. I was trying to hide everything that I wasn't like documenting certain stuff. I had pictures, but and or if you so happen to get locked up because you did something to your partner or anything like that, let them take you to the hospital. I didn't go to the hospital. I needed stitches, but I still didn't go.
Hold on, I need you to say that for my platform. So, hold on, let's see. Which one you want?
Oh, we got that.
Okay, we live.
So when I was in my situation and I had bruises and things like that, I didn't document a lot of stuff. But that's because I was too ashamed and too afraid and things like that. So when I got locked up, I had bruises. I needed stitches, and I refused to go to the hospital. I don't recommend that because that could have been another thing that could have helped me in my case. So if I would have had went to trial and things like that, that would have helped me in my case because I did have these scars, I did have these bruises, or I would have went to the hospital to get stitches because I should have got stitches, but I didn't. And when my lawyer came to see me, he was like, "Oh my goodness, you got so many, marks and bruises on your neck and things like that." And I just was like, "Yeah, I know." He was like, and then he's the one that made me realize, like, dang, I should have went to the hospital.
Right,
Why didn't
right.
I go?
And you just
But
said that you just didn't.
yeah, I didn't go, but I was in shock. I was in a state of shock of everything that had just
The hospital
transpired.
is important also for the young sisters that's listening and out there. That's who keeps the paper trail.
Right, exactly.
So, and like, say you don't want to call the police, but you go to the hospital, you get the care that you need,
Right,
and then you get the hospital to write up a report because that's going to be in their medical records
right.
that you came in for a domestic violence situation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good that Allah put us through these experiences because
So we can help.
we're shaping to help.
Yeah, so that's one thing I wish I would have done was went to the hospital. I wish I would have went and got stitches and
Mhm.
cared for myself like I was supposed to. And but that's why I said, looking back at your pictures, I'm so glad that you don't wear these scars. That's so good. Our skin is good
Mhm.
because I
And
don't
it's scars like low key, like you'll have to like really,
yeah, really look.
yeah.
Like, I don't know if you can still see. I got that still where I should have got stitches at. It's still like marks right here. But I didn't get the stitches. But it's still a mark right there. But it's to the naked eye, you really can't see it. So it's just good that we don't have like these visible scars. You know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing.
And the crazy thing is, and I'm gonna tune back on to my live since we got, so that we could close out and let the people know where to look on YouTube. Uh,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna share my YouTube with you.
think it was important to make sure that people understand that when you get to a certain point of violence, that's when I knew because I'm not a violent person. So once I got to a point where he had a scar on his nose from me reacting to him hitting me in the car. So the only thing I could grab was this clipboard, which was the closest thing to me,
Right,
to like get him off of me,
right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So
To defend yourself.
to defend myself, so I seen where it was a pattern. Shout out Frenchie. Frenchie, I love you for all the healing that she provided. Cause I go to the beauty supply for hours, being there crying and talking to her because confidence. Frenchie, I love you. She helped build my confidence to keep me beautiful to know you deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the times, women they don't do that. They'll shun you and talk about you.
Right.
Instead of she done did my ponytail plenty of times to make me feel good, or give me a discount on the hair.
Yeah.
Because she know I ain't got it all, but I'm trying.
Right.
And it got to the point where I ain't gonna put everything out there because I don't know if she worked there still or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? She didn't care. Like she
Right.
put her sisterhood on the line to counsel me through
Right.
many a times. Them beauty supply visits
Yes.
was therapy. And it
Mm-hmm.
was a neighborhood sister Frenchie, thank you for being there to noticing, damn, this young sister is in an abusive relationship, and I wish I could do something more, but all I can do is this.
That's
She
right.
kept doing.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how long, like even knowing that I still was with him, she ain't cut me off like, oh, you dumb bitch. Like, excuse my language, but you know, no, because that's how our community is.
Yeah.
They'd be like talking to somebody else
Yeah.
around the way
Telling them
and telling them,
how stupid you are.
yeah, she's talking about some, of course, my love, always. Thank you, darling. We still need to go to Paris, darling. For real, because she got a daughter.
Right.
And so I guess for her, she looked at it as a part of service of saying, you know what, I gotta do something because I gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when more people start speaking up to saying, how can I change the future?
Yeah. Because why is there so many teens going through this right now? Why am I working with young girls that's going through domestic violence?
It's not making no sense. And I'm glad that the people that's tuning in, I need to be a part of this. I gotta go, but I'm gonna hit you, love. This is God. Got some good for you. Yes, I can't wait to, sis. Please, please, cause shout out to Frenchie, cause how I'm able to be here now is a part of that neighborhood, sis.
Right.
And I think that we don't give each other enough credit because we might not have it all, but it don't have to be perfect.
Right,
Like
exactly.
how we in your living room right now, and can't wait to have you and you and you and you.
Yeah, that part.
But we won't be in her living room because I'm gonna make sure she get what she needs. You see what I'm saying? And it takes one to elevate to say, here go the ladder, Porsche. And I'm glad that you open because some people when they older, it's like we know, like no funny. My little sister, she had said, it's quick. You old. 26, turn 26 tomorrow.
She said you old.
And I want to show her out because lesbian communities, gay community, domestic violence then pulled out into that
That
community.
community. Yeah, that's why I said male on male, female on female, woman, man, like it's everywhere.
It's too much. And, you know, everybody has different beliefs, practices. I practice Islam. She just came in. That was the spirit to bring you in, sister.
Exactly.
The point that tune right in, that's Allah. The point I wanted to make for my sister's birthday that is tomorrow, that I'm glad that she is about to celebrate. In honor of making it to 26 and going into her next chapter. However, I know that she's worthy of pure love and not toxic love.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a sister to a young lady who decided that she wanna date another woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's her choice.
Right.
But by all means, she deserves somebody that's gonna treat her of the highest respect
Mm-hmm.
and have good energy and good vibration.
Whether it's
I tell her every time, I don't know how it works.
right.
I don't know how it works. However, I know that you deserve the highest because you put out the highest.
Mm-hmm.
So, however, we can make the connection for the LGBTQ community to put a stop to the toxic relationships too.
Yes.
I'm strategizing to see how we can get somebody from that community to speak up as well. Because we got to think if you've been with a man, it ain't gonna change if you go be with another man or another woman.
Right.
If you and that's a problem because now we may have somebody in this other community who is a threat,
Right.
or now can be made other victims.
Mm-hmm. But what did we say earlier? Hurt people hurt people. So we got to start within ourselves because we keep on moving on to these relationships and then get ourselves healed properly.
That come from codependency.
Exactly.
Wanting to depend on somebody else, knowing that you have not done the work. I'ma be honest. Me, I tried to be gay. I tried it. Me, yes. It's I'm not. I would be a doing a disservice to a good gay woman because I'm not really gay.
Right.
So if I'm
But we're trying something different.
yeah, no, hear me out. The point is, got a good sister who is a good. So it would be wrong of me to mooch and benefit a woman, knowing that I don't really love this woman. I'm just doing this because she's in a relationship. I'm gonna get her to do all the benefits and be there and take care of me. And I know I'm not really. That's not right. A lot of women have to stop that because it's not fair for real woman who want to love another woman or vice versa a man. And in my hijab, I can say this because I got a little sister, like I said, that's going through
Right.
my only. So for me, I don't care what the Muslims say about it. I know for me, my personal experience in my home, that's who I'm dealing with.
Right.
So I'm not gonna tell her go be with a man. That's
Right.
unrealistic for what you call it. I can introduce her to Islam, but that's if she's interested.
Right.
All I can do is let her know to love herself first,
Right.
so that she can know that the red flags don't paint them green.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so, all right, we're gonna close out. So, this the last question.
Okay.
So you said your last straw was
Maya.
your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That was your last straw with dealing with your situation.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you done closed that door, how are you feeling inside? Like, what do you feel?
I feel free.
You feel free?
I feel so free. Like it's like when you get out of a domestic violence relationship and you put self 1st,
Mm-hmm.
you feel free. Like I be riding a scooter. The scooter just broke down on me yesterday. But you learn.
Right.
So like I feel free. Like I don't feel captured. So like I don't gotta hide no scars. If I want to wear this hijab, I can wear this one, and I feel like a nigga gonna demean me or talk down. If I want to show a little baby heads, I'm not gonna get hit. Like it was that bad. So for me now, I just live life free. Like this is me. I'm learning who I am. I'm learning what I like. I like to go here. So if I'm gonna take myself here, I know if I get with somebody, they gonna have to keep that. Cause I like to eat at the house, and I don't like to go to Chick-fil-A. It's not good for you.
Right.
So somebody that love me is gonna know. Oh well, I'm gonna have to meet her at house.
Right.
So that's like we could compromise. Like I'm not about to be here and be like Cheesecake Factory. Like you know how they had that little.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna do that. However, I like nice stuff for
Right.
me. So if my person, I'm gonna know that this my person because they love themselves and they love God.
Right.
So they gonna treat me how they treat themselves. A lot of the times in relationships, these people be hating themselves, and then you get with them, and you like, oh, I don't even know who this is. Like, what happened to the person that
They battling their own demons.
So at the red flags, we supposed to be like, gotta go. Because in my situation, I was able to leave.
Mm-hmm.
In your situation, you wish that you would have left.
Just left. Just left it alone and for good. You know, yeah, definitely.
I know that's what you feel because I felt it on the time when I heard the news.
Mm-hmm.
I said in my head, I said I know because was it on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it was around that time.
Yeah, yeah. I knew that. I was like, damn. And I pray for anybody that's in a relationship right now that it doesn't get to that point
Mm-hmm.
because that's a terrible bridge to try to cross if you're not prepared mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how I did it,
Sure.
but listen, when I say I got through,
You served how many years?
I did 2 years, 8.5 months.
That was God.
2 years, 8.5 months.
That was God. And they moved it all the way down to mass.
Yeah, they did. They gave me voluntary manslaughter, um, 10 years, all suspended but five.
Mhm.
I have was sitting in Upper Marlboro for 19 months
Mm.
before we finalized that plea. Mind you, for a long time I couldn't see my babies, or now I could just get pictures. They didn't allow kids to come up there at first.
Mhm.
For whatever, they had some type of rule. So whatever the rule was, kids couldn't come up there. So I didn't see my kids for a long time. I missed my baby first steps
Mm.
and everything. Like
Mm.
I just was missing.
Mm.
My daughter kept crying. Where are you? They kept telling my babies I was sick. I was in the hospital
Mm.
and stuff like that because they didn't want, them to know, why where I was at.
They didn't want to create trauma
Yeah.
for the kids.
But they they went through some trauma because they was missing their
They
mom.
missing their mother, and had they had known, that's like with my daughter in the hospital.
Right.
They just restricted me, but now Wednesday it'll be my first time I get to see her. For 58 days, I've been restricted.
Last time I talked to you on FaceTime, you was up there, you was doing her hair and stuff. She talking and stuff like that. Beautiful baby. Beautiful baby.
Thank you.
And I was so happy that you was able to, do that. And it hurt my heart when I talked to you and you told me that you couldn't go back up there. You know what I'm saying?
Because
So
now you know that connection, that feeling, and the system does this. They try to rob us, especially first. Shout out everybody that's joining. This is the Neighborhood Sisters podcast. I am a guest, Azira, sharing my domestic violence story about me surviving and letting go of toxic love. And I know for me, my number one thing right now with the hospital is just having peace, because I want to go up there. What I be telling my sister, we about to John Q this John. Yeah, stop playing. Yeah, every day, every day, every day, every day, on the live, every day. I feel like John Q in the house, because I have been robbed of access to my daughter that like me kept alive. Me. Not no white girl with no white jacket pretending that she cares because they told me to pull the plug.
exactly.
So knowing that I'm going through that, and I was a domestic violence survivor, CPS owes me way more than them trying to take her away from me in the midst. Why is this family, this mother and this father not connecting? Where is the connection between them as to why this baby can't be put into, not take the baby and put it in a two-mother home of a Russian couple? And I got to protest with Trayon White to get results, just for them to try to take him down because it's election time.
Exactly.
So me sharing my story is an elevation of every Black person that is living in their purpose. That's why Allah put me on your podcast of all podcasts today. That's why I said this more important than Fox 5. Y'all better get into Neighborhood Sisters. This podcast right here creates a platform for sisters to heal and be able to understand that they can too, because you still healing.
That's the goal.
This right here, said it is done. Said it is done. I see purple suits. I want purple Chanel bags. It's everything. But see, one thing about me, I'm not materialistic. Anybody that know me knows I'm not materialistic. But I got to the point where in my life right now, for my soft girl era and season, I done been in struggling mode, survival mode, every type of mode. Whereas though now, my mother let me know financial abuse. He took me off every account. Took me off every account. I couldn't even get food one day for the kids. I remember he was like, we had got a whole rock of money. And he was like, no, you use $200 at Target for the kids. So
it wasn't even for myself. I can't use the money for kids.
The cat said something.
The cat said something.
Hmm. What you say, kitty cat? Yeah, they're crazy. The men, it's like they got some type of um ego. Uh, the control is coming from media and other men not holding them accountable. Like how back in the day, you could do something and the whole 21st coming and standing up for this system.
Yeah.
But it not being where as though it's a threat to that man. Like you don't gotta beat him up.
Right. But
Like
you gotta talk to him.
like have his pride where as though it's able to still not be like my peoples. I saved my peoples because I ain't want my peoples to kill him
Right.
in my apartment
Right.
when they came to rescue because it got to that point and that's when I knew my cousin who I love dearly, whose name I'm not gonna put out, but he know who he is. When he came to do business, as they say, and protect his only cousin, baby cousin, who is a mother, I knew that I didn't want my own cousin to be arrested.
Right. Because then, what is that? Another black man in the system.
Because he trying to protect me.
Mm-hmm.
But I went back and I had Ramaya.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons I didn't get like my, I got cousins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Got brothers, all that. But like you said, me going, I'm gonna go back. I can do that. And then, at the end of the day, like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't want that person hurt because y'all still got a kid.
I think it's commendable that you have grown to this point with everything that has happened because God is showing me that if we don't do this, we not living in our purpose. Because
Mm-hmm.
I could have very much so been the lady that didn't think twice and push forth and rob somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I commend that you are coming in and saying, "Hey, I messed up. I effed up, and I want to give back."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when people realize that, they'll understand karma
Mm-hmm.
because your spiritual. You said he came to you in a dream twice, so
Mm-hmm.
your spiritual karma and destiny is for this. That's how deep it is.
I gotta do it.
Nobody else is set up for this. Like for me, it's not too many people that's gonna sit up here in a hijab,
Mm-hmm.
talk about the real issues on hand,
Right.
and have that conversation because they'd be scared because they feel like the people will probably shame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have those experiences with
Right.
having the voice that I had, and I believe that Islam is not an abusive religion.
Mm-hmm.
It means peace.
Right.
So any man that's abusing his wife and claiming Islam is a mark of shame on the religion
Mm-hmm.
because he's not upholding the actual meaning of what Islam is, which is peace.
Right.
So I think that young women, especially that are Muslim, and any woman of any faith,
Right.
knowing, get you a man of God that fear God. Because somebody who fear God is not going to put his hands on a woman. He gonna get mad. He might get angry. He might punch the wall. But if he hits you, that's the issue.
Hey.
And if he hit the walls, he need to be fixing it because he might get angry.
Right.
but to a point where you are now being a punching bag verbally, financially, physically, mentally, any of those things, it's time to learn.
Yes. Don't just pack up and run. Sometimes leave that stuff behind. Like
Sometimes you don't gotta pack.
yeah, that's what I said. Sometimes you just go and just take whatever you got with you. Grab your purse with your wallet or whatever the case is, and just go. And you can get a fresh start. You will get a fresh start. There's people out here, like you said, giving out, clothing vouchers and things like that, so that women and men, can start over from and start healing from a domestic violence relationship. Point blank, period.
This is good information. I want to make sure that we close out with sharing the proper resources with the people. I know for me and my journey, my mental health top resource will be BTF, Behind the Facade Clothiers. That was one of the top brands that helped me mentally, because not only am I the president of that brand, right, from volunteering and doing work, um, this young man, Andy, is a father, and he was able to, uh, see that no woman deserves to be put through this type of abuse.
Right.
And he made me the president of the brand because of the connections I've made with mental health, being a mental health advocate.
Right.
So I know that Parent Watch came in as a resource for me being a mother.
Okay.
Pearls of Peace became the resource because I needed confidence and I needed healing. So the Reiki and all that stuff helped me to have the confidence of knowing, heal, let go, release, take care of your inner, because that piece right there, that sex strong,
Right.
we hold it in our hips.
Yeah.
So dancing and release yoni steam is important because you also kill the desire. It's okay. Come on, set. You kill the desire to want to continue the toxic trend, because that's a chemical genetic imbalance that we are doing when we have intercourse with somebody.
Right.
So we have to kill that completely and understand what that is. Like, if you guys spend a year by yourself coming out of a domestic violence relationship, I suggest that.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
Take that time to yourself. You definitely need that time.
Especially if you feel like you lost yourself. Like, I know for me, I lost myself, but I also was learning a new version, which was the Muslim Islamic version.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, what do that look like? Okay, she gotta be cute, fly, fancy, classy. She will not be hiding black eyes, darling.
Right. Exactly.
Under a niqab. Like, once I seen that, I was like, oh, this is off, because this makes my visual look bad, and it looks like it's acceptable. Like, yeah, like this, because every time I put my job on, you couldn't see like the you couldn't see it. So it let me know, like, this ain't, Allah don't want this. Allah want me to wear it and represent and know that it's girls out here that's suffering that wears this too.
Right.
And it's girls that want to put this on but probably scared because they gonna be abused.
Right. So, all right. So, how could people get in contact with you? Tell them about your organization. This gonna be it. So, tell them about your organization and tell them how they can get in contact with you.
They gotta go through you.
Go through me.
Period. Look, we gonna keep it. No, they can find me Millie Moms. I am about to take a break from social media because the holiday is coming up, and I'm not a big celebration of the holidays.
Right.
However, my organization, we help families, and the holiday time is very hard for a lot of people because
Okay.
if you don't still have somebody, a loved one living,
Right.
it's hard for you to deal with the holidays, right?
Of course.
So spiritually, in my walk, I find things to become overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So I take breaks.
Okay.
So I found that this time creates anxiety for me,
Oh, okay.
especially when we are going and thinking, oh, such and such got this. Oh, I want to get this.
Yeah. Right.
Keisha Cole got this from Huncho.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
hey, I should have the X57 Tesla. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, your nigga don't even make that much, sis.
Right.
Like,
Right.
stop. Like, it's okay. However, I see that right now, Millie Moms is my platform, but because of my music, which we could close out with this song, right? Well, I can't because I'm alive, but
Oh,
I'll sing it to you. So I'll put the song out there because that's the vibration that Allah has for me.
Okay.
So people will be able to get in touch with me through my artistry because I feel like I need to blow up
Okay.
in some type of way so that I can come back to help women with you, with the neighborhood podcast. Like, say I go make a meal off this hit right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm coming back to make sure that funds get distributed because this is what we got to do to build one another up. Because I never thought that this would be my walk, like being a domestic violence
Me neither. I
fighter.
didn't see that for me.
Yeah, I didn't see that for me
Yeah.
either.
I saw a lot of things, but not that.
Yeah. So that's why we gotta make sure that we pour into one another because what are the odds?
Right.
God wouldn't have this and everything ought to come easy to you. And I definitely want you to get hooked up with Pearls of Peace
Mm-hmm.
because what I see, we gotta create like a kind of like a fraternity of healing.
Right.
Cause you know how like they be pressed to join like AKA Delta.
Yeah.
It's cool. That's a sisterhood.
Yeah.
So we need a strong sisterhood of healers
Right.
that stand up, fight for one another, and in a peaceful way.
Right.
Whereas though, hey, this lady don't have resources, and she was just released as a returning citizen who is a victim of domestic violence. How can we set her up for success?
Exactly.
Period. Period. Pink and purple suits, baby.
Yeah. All right. So
I hope that was enough, right?
yes, that was. It was very insightful.
First interview doing this, so like,
Very insightful. Very.
forgive me.
No, you good. Very insightful. So we'll see y'all back again next time. We'll do a part two. And we'll do a part two and talk about some other things and other experiences and things
I'm gonna
like
have
that.
my mom
Mm-hmm.
or my daughter
Mm-hmm.
because I think that intergenerational connection is important to it. Like how you said you didn't want to, your mom was like, how did you not know that I raised you better for this?
Exactly.
So I think that having that.
No, because I gotta get my mom on here too. Cause she
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
I said you gonna say something. She was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
I-
okay. And then
told my mom.
I also, cause our neighborhood sisters, of course, we all about women. But I also asked my dad, cause I wanted to bring him on, like to, you know, what was going on with him that he, put his hands on my mom and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to ask those questions. I mean, and he'll probably be uncomfortable. My mom, she's cool with just talking, but he'll probably be a little uneasy with it. But I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know.
Yeah. And after what you've gone through, you deserve to know.
That's
As his daughter.
right.
And so I believe he would. Looking forward. Okay, family. This is what we do. Thank you so much, Portia, for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming.
Yes, yes.